Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're live right now, just hanging out before the masterclass starts. So you guys are watching this. This is the pre-party. We're just getting ready for the masterclass, the crash course on pre-flipping. I'm excited to go over it with everybody tonight. And yeah, so what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I just got done eating. As you can see, I'm remodeling my shop. I just turned this thing. It was a mechanic shop when I moved here. I moved out to the country, and I've turned it into a studio and a place where I can work, my office and film. And I got my gym over there, just benching over there. But yeah, we're about to start. And about the master class is about to start at 6 o'clock. So 12 minutes, 6 Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching this, give me a little shout out. Tell me where you're watching from. I'm gonna set up a little bit. I'm gonna go sit over there on that desk instead of where I'm sitting right now. But thought to go live. Say what's up to everybody. Ooh, it's been a doozy of a day. I'll tell you what. It's been a long day. But hey, it's all good. That's why we do what we do. Because we love to work, don't we? Working's fun. What did everybody have for lunch today? Not lunch, I mean dinner. I just got done eating. I had my wife made chicken. Chicken sandwiches or chicken patties or I don't know, but it was good. Yeah, it was like sweet potato fries. Yeah, it was really good. Hope everyone had a great day. We're about to get started. If you guys have not registered for the master class, you guys should do it. So you can pop in here and get all the resources that come on the training. Obviously, if you guys are watching this on any other platforms, you can watch the training, but you're not gonna have everything. You're not gonna get all the resources and the free bonuses. I'm giving away the playbooks right now that we used to charge people for. Now we give away for free because we have another offer where we partner with people. So we give away the training that we used to give. I'm going to make sure I can get the streams going on here. Just pop in here when you can, my people. Hope everybody's doing good. We'll add this stream to the Facebook group. Well, that's wonderful. Let's see. It says that the stream is private on Facebook. Well, that's great news. That explains a lot why nobody is watching my streams on Facebook. It's private. That's annoying. All right, let me check. Let me fix it. Edit live video. Let's see. Edit post, edit live video. Is that how you do it? We're going to get started in 9 minutes, everybody. So let's see. Settings. Why would it be set to private? Unpublished after. Let's see. Auto. Viewers. Allow viewers to message you. Sure, why not? Live tab. Interactivity. Live boost. What in the world? StreamYard, why are you putting this as private? If you guys can see this, if you can hear me, just say what's up, just so I know it's working. Let's see. Why in the world is this private? Only me. Interesting. Maybe Facebook's like, hey, ain't nobody want to see your live stream? Get out of here. Tara Reed, yes, I can see you. How are you? What's up? I can hear you. Oh, it says, what's up? I can hear you. Answer, see you, but can you? Yes. What's up? Thanks for popping in early. How are you? I'm just making sure that the streams are rolling for the masterclass. I'm really excited tonight to come to you guys live and share what I got for you because we got some awesome stuff tonight. Nathan Valley, are you here, dude? There he is.
You know it.
Tara's in here already, man. We got some people coming. We're hanging out.
Love it. Tara, what is going on?
Nathan Valley, how was your dinner, man?
Quick. I'm not too sure. I had to scarf it down.
Dude, I did the same thing. My wife was like, "Did you even taste that?" And I was like, "Nah, not really."
but it looked good. No, it's good. Well, it's good to be busy. Yeah, we're doing a few touch-ups on some of the slides and stuff for you guys for tonight. This is gonna be really good. This is not like a 90-minute. It's not like a 2-hour sales pitch. There's gonna be some really good stuff that we're gonna be jumping into. If I'm actually curious, let me know if are you brand new to wholesaling? Absolutely. Hey, I just heard the word wholesaling last week, or are what wholesaling is, and you're trying to get that first deal done.
That's a good question. Tara, how about
let me know in the comments?
Yeah, Tara's in here. What about you, Tara? Are you and am I saying it right? Is it Tara or I'm sorry, I hope it's Tara. Would you say that, Nathan? Tara? Reed, Tara Reed? I'm assuming.
I was trying to think of a stupid joke, and I couldn't think of one.
Yeah,
we're gonna go with Tara.
All right. You know what's kind of frustrating, man? I'm streaming this over to other platforms, and my stream is private. Can you actually do me a favor? Will you go to my Facebook and just see if my stream is if you can see it, or because it says it's private right now and only I can. Just do me a favor right now. Just see if you can see it, because if not, then that's lame.
Nathan Payne. I don't see none.
Yeah. I guess it's maybe Facebook's like, hey, nobody wants to see your face on Facebook Live, so we're gonna cut you off.
Well, anyways, while you guys are waiting, we're gonna be jumping into some really good stuff. So some of the stuff we're gonna be sharing with you. I'm not gonna get too deep into my story with you guys. If you guys could actually hear me, that'd be perfect. But piece of paper. Went to realtor school several years ago. You understand a little bit? Okay, cool. Awesome. So I got started with wholesaling similar to a lot of people. Man, honestly, I was in analysis paralysis for like 3 years. Seriously, I read all the books. I listened to all the podcasts. I was going to the RIA meetups. I watched all the YouTube videos. I mean, I could talk a great game. Right. And then I finally hit a moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make this happen. And so I finally started. I was doing a bunch of cold calling. I was cold calling for about 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. And after 4 months, I finally got my first deal, which, funny enough, it wasn't even from cold calling. I put out bandit signs, like those yellow signs that say "We buy houses," because I was cold calling for so long. I'm like, oh man, let me just try something different. I still stayed consistent with the cold calling. And so my first deal was actually from bandit signs, and I don't recommend doing bandit signs. But that was where my first deal came from. And everything that you hope doesn't go wrong on that first, it all went wrong on that first deal. Then from there, partnered up with a gentleman. I'm from upstate New York. I live in Connecticut now. My first deal is the only deal I've done locally. Everything has been virtual since then. When I partnered up with the gentleman after my first deal, we had a company out in West Michigan. I built out the whole acquisition arm of the company. So we had a bunch of cold callers, junior acquisition reps. I was a head closer. Personally was locking up over 100 contracts in a single year, which sounds cool on paper. But trust me when I say we weren't making the money that you would think over 100 deals in a single year would make you. And it could have made the YouTube videos that we all see, like, oh, one phone call, $50,000 deal, one phone call, $67,000 deal. But nobody ever talks about the details.
Why is that, Nathan? Why doesn't anyone talk about the details? Is it too hairy? Is it too scary?
Yeah, because the details aren't sexy. Like when we're going to be explaining what traditional wholesaling is. And if you guys have been wondering, like, man, I see so many people where it looks like they're crushing it. You know, they just started yesterday, they're getting deals, or they're doing all this stuff and all these deals. Like, why isn't it working for me like this? Those are the answers you're going to get. Because we're going to break all that down, because wholesaling does not work the way 99% of the industry makes it sound like it does. All right. And seriously, it is. I'll prove it to you guys. All right. Don't take my word for it. You can hold me to it later. Later in the masterclass tonight, you know, you can call me out if I didn't fully explain and give you guys proof. Let me know. But spoiler, I've already got that baked in there for you guys, right? So you got to learn, why doesn't the model that everyone is teaching, why doesn't it work that way anymore, right? Why is that? And then what is it that's working right now?
Love it, Nate. I love it.
You know what's funny? Actually, such a perfect example. I saw an Instagram reel today of, I don't want to say name, if big asterisks, if it's even true. Somebody was saying how they're like, oh, look, like somebody just sent me this text and they have 2 deals. Like the person was like, oh, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, we've got 2 deals and I live in a bomb shelter in somewhere's overseas, right? And they sent a picture of them with a laptop and a headset in a bomb shelter. And oh, I've got 2 deals and going to be making $50K. And the person's like, guys, so you can do it from anywhere. This person's got 2 deals. They're going to be making $50K. Keyword, gonna. Guys, do not count the money. And the industry does so much of that, to where you guys will hear about someone, they'll get a deal under contract, but you don't hear all the details about what happens after that. And the industry has come to really praise the like, oh, being the closer. But guys, that is half, literally half is getting the contract. There is still a whole second part. The vast majority of wholesale contracts fall through. So when you say, oh, this person just got 2 deals, they're going to make $50K. Not if they don't have buyers lined up with deposited EMD and a scheduled closing date, brother, you have like next to nothing. A signed contract that's a sheet of paper, baby, right? That's about it. Yeah, I can give it to my toddler to draw on, but that's about as good as, what it's good for. You got to sell that thing. And so, we're going to be diving into that tonight. I'm going to be talking about a lot more stuff. Again, guys, there's a silver lining, I promise. There is no time better than right now to be getting into wholesaling. Because of all the stuff, I know I was talking about like a bunch of negative stuff in the industry. That all plays into your favor. Seriously. There is no time better than right now to be in real estate wholesaling, to get started with wholesaling. It's never been a better time. It's never been an easier time. We're going to go over specifics and stuff with that too. But again, you guys stay tuned. We got good stuff for you.
Man, I'm pumped for tonight, man. I'm excited to go over what we got. I'm just double checking that we're good to go. Looks like we are good. Let me share my screen. Nate, if you're ready to roll, I'm ready to roll. Tara, are you there? I know you asked if you could come on screen, but what we're doing is we're teaching a class. So that's probably why you're not able to come on screen. But are you there with us right now? I just want to make sure, because I saw you asking some questions, so I don't want to leave you hanging. And
we're good. Let's get cooking.
Oh, man, I realized that I had my mic plugged in, so I got to make sure that you guys can hear me. Give me a second. FaceTime. Boom. Okay, here we are. We got it set up. All right, Nathan, if you're ready to roll, I'm ready to roll. Let's get into it. My screen. Let's go. All right, here we go, everybody. Today we are going over the pre-flipping masterclass, the pre-flipping crash course. Let's go right in. All right. Nathan, take it away. Ask some of these questions. Let's get everybody involved.
Yeah.
I can't see the chat, by the way, Nate, with this on. So you're gonna have to do your best, man, and kind of
no worries. I got you guys covered. So, guys, real quick, there's a lot of good stuff we're going to be going over. The main thing we're going over tonight is by the end of this masterclass, you're going to know exactly how to get started with wholesaling, right? If you have a budget, if you have no budget, or if you're anywhere in between, we're going to be going over all that stuff. And you're going to know exactly how to get started wholesaling, what's working right now, and how you can go and do it. But first, I'm going to hit you guys with the pop quiz. All right. So seriously, I want you to put the answers in the chat because I'm going to look at them. And I want to know your guys' thoughts. Now, this isn't, I'm not going to grade you. Don't worry. It's not like pass, fail. If you fail, I kick you out of here or something. No. Right. But let's go through this pop quiz. So first question, true or false? Wholesaling is more competitive now than ever before.
What do you guys think?
Now, if you guys were on here just before we got started, I might have kind of gave the spoiler a little bit.
Yes. All right, let's get into it.
True or false?
False. Let's go back to the question really quick. Wholesaling is more competitive now than ever. All right, it's false. Go ahead, Nate.
Guys, right now, so I've got some stats on screen there for you. Just to give an idea, investors now account for roughly 13 to 27% of home purchases, right? Depending on time period in the market, right? That's a drastic increase from the 18.5% average, which is still high, right? And guys, just to give an idea, it is literally millions of deals a year where wholesalers operate. Guys, millions of deals a year. If you think about wholesaling, guys, you don't need to do a million deals. I'll let you know that right now. Guys, just think like 10 deals a year, 12 deals a year, 20 deals. Like that's not that many out of millions, right? And then fact number 2, wholesaling more competitive now than ever before? No. The reason why it seems that way is because when COVID happened back in 2020, you've got all these people around the world to where they're sitting at home saying, they're on their phone, on their computer searching, how do I make money from home? How do I make money, from home online? And guess what? One of the number one top searches was real estate wholesaling.
Oh, don't tell me.
So during COVID, there's this massive flood of people, right? Because everyone's sitting at home searching this online. There's a massive flood of new people learning and interested into wholesaling, right? That's probably also why over the past few years, you just see more and more of like, oh my goodness, why is my Instagram feed? Why do all I see are all these different, videos of all these different gurus and whatnot? It's not that the space has gotten more competitive. I would strongly argue it's the complete opposite. There's just been a massive wave of new people, but guys, I want you to hear this loud and clear. 95% of them never even close a deal. 95% of them never get a single check. That's huge.
Crazy.
And guys,
that's huge.
5% of them get a single check. Doesn't mean all 5% are closing more than one deal.
That's a big discrepancy right there. 5% versus 95%.
So guys, I say all that to say that there's millions of deals. 95% of people are doing none of them. There's a massive opportunity. Seriously, there's never been a better time than right now. Okay, question number 2. True or false? If you find a good enough deal, the money or the buyer will find you.
All right. Everybody go right in the comments right now. What do you guys think? True or false? I know we've heard this before. Hey, if you got a good enough deal, the money will find you. That's freaking false. I'm sorry, everybody. It's false. Thousands of deals never close because somebody couldn't find the money or the buyer in time. Guys, I know when I was doing traditional wholesaling, what we're going to explain not to do, I lost out on tons of deals because I did not know how to find the right buyers. I was wasting my time. It's false. And I'm sure many of you that are watching this or will watch this have felt the same way. You've had deals, but you have not been able to get them across the finish line. True or false? Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, true. Next one, true or false? You can't flip a house before making an offer or before having it under contract. True or false, guys? Put it in the chat.
What do you guys think? This is a doozy. I know this is kind of confusing, especially if you're brand new to real estate investing. You're like, what? I can't flip a house before I have it under contract. But the answer is that is false. We flip houses all the time without having them under contract. We will show you how to do it tonight. Not only can you do it, but it is better than everything else. All right, true or false? It takes months to close your first deal once you start wholesaling. What do you guys think? How long does it take? Is it true or false that it takes months? That is true. A fact is it can take up to 15 to 30 days from contract to close on average. But if we're counting from when someone starts marketing, most deals take up to 3 months or more. And if it's a first time inexperienced wholesaler, you already know that it's probably taking way longer than that. It says we already know that only 5% of those people are ever going to close a deal. And the ones that do averages plus 5 months. So
now,
insane.
Yeah, one thing I want to just add in there, guys, that's if you're doing traditional wholesaling, if you're not implementing other strategies, it absolutely does not need to take 3 to 5 months to close a deal. It just depends on what you're doing. For what the vast majority of people doing, 100%, these are the correct stats right here, without a doubt.
And we hit you guys with the truth. We're not going to lie to you tonight. We're not going to say, hey, you can do this in 5 seconds. No, we're going to tell you the truth. We're going to give it to you guys. All right, here is one of the biggest questions that's going to ruffle some feathers tonight. True or false? Wholesaling real estate is ethical. What do you guys think? Is wholesaling real estate ethical? I'm going to pause a little bit. Nathan, you know the answer. I know
guys,
the answer.
We're calling out the big stuff tonight. Seriously, we're not playing games. We're going to talk about the big elephants in the room. This is one of them.
I know this is a tough one. All right, here we go, everybody. Trick question.
Erica had the right answer. So it depends on the wholesaler.
Oh, Erica, you are right. Okay, I love it. So trick question, guys. The vast majority of people we see wholesaling, look, what we call traditional wholesaling, the vast majority of them of people, what they're doing right now is unethical. It's what they're doing is unethical. They're making offers and promises that they cannot keep. We're going to explain what we mean by this, by the way. We're not going to just leave you guys hanging. It is causing tons of problems nationwide, and more legislation is coming because of it. People that do not know how to wholesale correctly are screwing it up for the rest of us. And by the way, when I say screwing it up for the rest of us, we know how to deal with this. So we're never going to be it's not going to be an issue for us, but it is for a lot of people that don't know what they're doing.
And guys, for the people doing wholesaling unethically, like this isn't just new people that don't really know what they're doing. I actually don't blame the new people, because the new people, it's like, dude, they're new, right? People trying to close their first deal. They're learning from the people above them. Guys, there are companies doing tons and tons and tons of deals to where they are doing this business unethically. I see them on YouTube. I hear about them in the podcast. I see them on Instagram, right? And like publicly talking about this stuff to where I still don't know to this day why people don't call it out more, because it's just right in plain sight where it's like, guys, you're just you're flat out lying to people. It's crazy. Now, guys, again, wholesaling done right, there's a ridiculous amount of value that you add to the marketplace.
Oh,
yes. It is absolutely needed. And guys, you serve these people to such a high level, and it is needed immensely. But we want to make sure we're going about the business and doing it in an ethical, honest, and transparent way. We're going to go over that stuff tonight.
Amen. Thank you, Nathan. So, guys, but tonight we're going to show you how to do it the right way. Now, this is what you're going to see tonight. We're going to show you how to find the perfect market, the one that actually stacks odds in your favors. We're going to show you 3 simple lane system to know exactly how to get started in real estate investing, so you don't have to guess after tonight what you should do, how to identify the best buyers that pay the most and are easiest to work with, and how to choose your playbook, the one that we're going to be giving away to you guys for free, and start flipping deals before they're even under contract. That's right. Even before they're under contract. That's crazy. Stick around to the end. If you have registered for this masterclass and you showing up, it will trigger an event in the automation that it will give you the pre-flipping playbooks. If you guys are watching this on anything else and you have not registered for the masterclass, you will not get the pre-flipping playbooks. You have to register for the masterclass. All right. What are the playbooks? These are playbooks. These playbooks are 3 proven methods that we've done and we've taught to help people pick
like a way to get deals that best fits you. We have direct to seller outbound. That's going to get a deal from going direct to seller, direct to agent. Okay. And direct to wholesaler. You can get deals with all these strategies. And we're going to give you playbooks tonight showing you training, videos, where you get the software, contracts. It's all included. Why are we doing this? Well, guys, we used to charge for this, but now what we do is we focus on partnering and closing deals with our clients instead of just teaching them this stuff where we would just teach it. We no longer do that. We feel like in order for people to really understand this business, they need help with someone diving in. So that's what we do. So we give away the playbooks and we work with people hands-on. So anyway, that's why we're giving away the playbooks. Now, look, if you have registered for the masterclass, you got message and text message and emailed this worksheet. Hopefully some of you guys went and printed off this worksheet. Oh, snap. I clicked on the link, so it should be pulling up the worksheet, but let me see. You there, Nate?
Yeah, I'm here. I see you. We see the presentation.
Oh, man, where am I? I'm lost. I'm lost, dude.
Can you guys tell that this is live? This is not, you know what? But I feel like in today's day and age, like having intentional fake things go wrong to make an automated webinar or AI look real, like that would definitely be a thing. So while he's trying to figure out how to come back to screen, right after he finishes talking about the worksheet here, we're going to be jumping right in. We're going to be talking about wholesaling. What is wholesaling? How does it work? What's traditional wholesaling? Right? All that going into some of those true false questions we were talking about in the beginning, diving into a little bit more details on that. And guys, also with the playbooks, seriously stick around because you do want to get those. I'll be completely transparent. I was hesitant on us giving those out because of how valuable they were. Yeah, Payne and I, we went back and forth on it a little bit, and then we finally caved and we're like, all right, let's do it. So seriously, please use them well, use them wisely. The number one thing, guys, when we give stuff like that, the only thing that I ask from you is that you actually use it. If I see you or I talk to you or I run into you at like a real estate meetup or something somewheres, and if I run into you 5 years from now and you're still in the same spot doing the same thing and you didn't implement the stuff we gave you, guys, I'm not going to be happy about it. All right. Come on now.
Yes.
Whoa, we got an echo there, brother. You good?
Can you hear me?
Well, you're in here twice. Remove one of all right, and then it's me. You gotta love technology, guys. So one thing I will say, guys, whether it's real estate, whether you're doing a masterclass with people, there will always be obstacles that pop up. One thing too is, like, let's talk real estate, for example. So wholesaling, there's so many things where people get held back and they don't take action or they don't use the playbooks and stuff that we're going to be giving you guys because you're concerned about, like, what if I get this wrong? Or I don't know the answer to this? Or what if I don't know, they asked me this question, I don't know. And what it really all comes down to is we don't want to feel dumb, right? We don't want to look stupid. We don't want to look bad. We don't want to feel insignificant. Guys, one of the fastest things you can do to have an impact on your growth is just be willing to look dumb. Be willing to make mistakes. And
right now, bro, I look ridiculous, man.
That's where I was gonna tie it all back in.
So let me tell you guys what just happened. I am using the new ChatGPT Atlas browser instead of Google Chrome, and this thing, it just blew up on me. I don't know what was going on. I was trying to show you. So anyway, the technology, AI is not what it's all cracked up to be. That's all I'm trying to tell you guys. It just blew up on me. All right. Are you all with me though? I want to make sure everybody's here.
All right, so let's bring the slides back up. Let's get back to the worksheet because literally the next slide is we're jumping into it with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it was good just to make sure you guys are with us, you're awake. And yeah, so let me get them slides back up too. That is so annoying, man. I'm sorry. But you guys are all with me. All right, here we go. Pulling up the slides. Okay, can you guys see these slides here? Can you see them, Nate?
All right, guys, back to the start. True or false? No, I'm kidding.
All right, here we go. All right, everything looking all right?
We're looking good. Looking good.
Okay. As I was talking about the worksheet, guys, if you print it off, just follow it. The reason why we have it is so you guys can fill it out as we go. All right.
Guys,
That's the main reason.
Don't click on the worksheet. It's clearly going to give your computer viruses.
Yes. Yeah. Honestly, the worksheet blew up the ChatGPT browser. So anyway, let's get right into it, guys. All right. So if you guys are watching, and hopefully you're enjoying this, because this is true life, like what me and Nate are like, and we enjoy what we do. But this, we're just hitting you guys with the truth. All right. So before we get into why wholesaling can be unethical if you do it the wrong way, let's get into what is wholesaling. So if you guys know what wholesaling is, just take a deep breath, because this will take like a couple seconds. Don't go anywhere. But if you're new to wholesaling, this is what it is. Simple version: you find a motivated seller who wants to sell at $205,000, for example, their house. You get it under contract, and then you sell it to someone else for $225,000 without having to ever buy it. You just have it under contract. You assign your contract to someone else, and with the difference of what you assign it to them and what you have it with the seller, you make that fee without ever owning the property. Sounds amazing, right? And this is what it looks like. You take a crappy house, you give it to someone, you get it under contract, you assign it, and then the flipper will flip it, but the flipper will pay you a fee for finding the deal. Okay. So you're basically finding deals. You're not a bird dog in the sense where you're just finding an opportunity. You're actually getting it under contract, negotiating it, giving it to them. It takes more skill, obviously, than that. But
and guys, dead simple stuff. You're finding someone that owns a property and they're willing to accept this price. And then you're finding somebody that wants to buy it at a price higher than that.
All right.
And however much high, whatever that difference is, that's how much money you make.
And it sounds really simple, right? When everything works out. But the reality is, for most wholesalers, it does not go that smooth. And here's why, everybody. Traditional wholesaling is flawed because you're guessing. You're guessing so much of the time. Unless you can find a great deal that's super discounted, 50% of the value that you see on Zillow right here. Unless you know for sure that you just got it so low, you don't really know what someone's willing to pay for it. You don't know if the area that you're in sucks, if no one likes that buying that street. You don't know, like neighborhood to neighborhood is completely different. So most of the time, wholesalers are guessing. Again, they just don't know. And we know this because a lot of our clients that we work with, they're like, hey, what should I offer for this? And we're like, whoa. That's you're doing it all wrong. We're trying to formulate and teach them the right way to do it. And that's what we're teaching you guys tonight. But look, go ahead.
And guys, this is across the entire industry. Every single person that you see out there, whether they say, oh, you got to do direct to seller. No, you got to do direct to agent. No, you got to JV other wholesaler deals. No, you got to do cold calling. No, you got to do pay per click. Guys, they're all doing the same exact thing, which is they have you making promises, making offers that you do not know if you can keep to the sellers. And the problem, that is why all this legislation, all these laws are coming out, because there are too many people that are saying, oh, I'm a cash buyer, I can promise you all these things. And then they find out, oh, wait, because even 50% of Zillow, it depends on where the market is. Guys, I've locked up plenty of contracts, less than 50% of the Zestimate, and it wasn't a deal, right? Because again, the Zestimate is just a simple algorithm, right? That just calculates. It doesn't actually know the market, the buyers, what people are willing to pay.
That's right, brother. So that's why sellers don't really trust wholesalers, because they overpromise and underdeliver. And if they can't get a buyer, they just say, ooh, I got to back out. And they have all these clauses that make it easy for them to back out. Look, the result, it's lost credibility, wasted time, and it's people being frustrated in deals that could have closed. Basically, the seller doesn't want to work with you anymore. But what if there was a way to get real feedback from buyers before you lock up a deal? That's where pre-flipping comes in. All right, everybody. Now, I used to do traditional wholesaling, and this is me. I freaking struggled for a long time. I was scared to do deals. I was scared to tell the seller what I was doing. I would drive the seller to the title company and just make sure they signed, because I thought maybe a buyer would snake the deal for me. Or I thought maybe it wouldn't work out because they would find out that I was trying to wholesale it. And I would just do things. And I don't know if anyone's like this, or if you guys felt a little grimy or slimy by just trying to get wholesaling the traditional way of locking it up, not telling the seller what you're doing, and then just hoping it all works out. Is anyone, give me a 1 in the chat if you guys have felt like this? But that was my journey.
Go ahead.
We're
not judging. I've been there. Payne's been there. Like, we did it too, right? And it was because we just didn't know any better. And same thing, that's where I don't hold it against all the new people out there, because it's not even their fault. It's just all the people out there on YouTube, this is what they're teaching. And so that's who I hold responsible. But
exactly. And it even got worse when I went nationwide, right? I went nationwide, and imagine trying to get deals to the finish line when you don't even meet the person, right? You don't even see the house. Like it was difficult to do that, right? And just felt uncomfortable. And I'll tell you, man, I had so many deals that like were on scheduled to close, and I just never felt comfortable. Like I never felt like it was like always going to be smooth. If it did go smooth, I was like, oh my goodness, we got lucky on that one. But I just didn't know any different. Nathan, I'm assuming you feel the same way, right? You felt like that?
Gosh, are you kidding me? Yeah, I
Who else has felt like that, guys? Where it's just like if a deal happens smoothly, you're just like, oh wow, thank goodness. Now we're gonna flip that around because that's not how it should be. You guys should be happy in this business. You should know exactly what's going on, and everyone should know what's going on. There's no reason to do it. So we're introducing the fix. The pre-flip method is what fixed this all for me, guys. If you master this, you can break through. All right. So once I was able to get the pre-flipping method down, guys, sky was the limit for me. I started crushing deals. It was easy, and I didn't worry. I didn't lose sleep at night if a deal was going to fall through after putting all the time in. Now, if you guys don't know who I am, quickly, I'm Nathan Payne. I built a wholesaling business up over 7 figures, and I did it nationwide. Now I live outside of the country on a farm, and I do this business from a remote place where I don't have to ever meet a seller. And I've helped people do the same thing. And I've had the opportunity to go on podcasts and do events, and I've been on TV, whatever, right? It's not about my story, guys. It's about your story. But I'm just letting you know, because I was able to figure out the pre-flip method, I ended up liking this job versus wanting to quit and do something else. Okay. Now, it all comes down to the pre-flip philosophy and how it works with every playbook. Now, we are giving you guys the 3 playbooks. If you registered for the masterclass for this class, you get it set up if you click on the link and show up and stay to the end. But the cool thing about pre-flipping is it works with any strategy. That's why we're giving you guys the playbooks. I don't care if you're direct to seller outbound. I don't care if you're direct to agent, direct to wholesaler. It all works with pre-flipping. If you don't know how to pre-flip, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle to do this business without feeling like a little slimy, because imagine you're working with an agent and you tell them, and there's a family that needs to sell their house, and you tell them, I can pay this much, but you don't even know that. You don't even know you can pay. You get it under contract, you send it out, and then no one wants your deal because you negotiated it like wrong. You got it too high or whatever happened. That family that thought you were going to buy the house, they got all excited. They got ready to move, and then you back out.
Yep. They already like bought, or they moved into another apartment. They already moved stuff out. And so when you say that, oh, sorry, I can't actually fulfill on all the promises I made to you, guys, that causes a lot. Again, we're not selling movie tickets, right? We're not selling cars. This is real estate. These are people's homes. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a big deal. Guys, the transactions that you will be doing on a weekly and monthly basis is typically the single biggest transaction that the person will have in their entire life. Okay, that is why all the legislation, that's why it's wholesaling, traditional wholesaling is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, because again, 95% of those people that aren't closing deals, they're making offers, they're making promises, they're making commitments that they have no idea that they can keep. And what happens is it ends up with too many nice people getting completely screwed over by an unethical process. And not just 95% of new people, but also by the big companies doing the unethical thing.
Yeah. And now look, if you're doing it and you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Look, I understand if you're only doing maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 5, 10 deals a year, maybe where you're just like, oh, it's not a big deal. I've never had to back out of a deal. But if you're scaling this up, if you want to make a big deal out of your business, if you want to make this a legit business, you're eventually going to run into issues. If you're doing 10, 15 contracts a month, 20 contracts a month, and you're doing this model where you don't know, you're going to cancel a lot of deals, and you're just going to feel like my business model is flawed. Would you agree, Nathan? Like it's just inevitable.
Whether you're doing 20 deals a month, or if you're doing 1 deal a year, like to me, I honestly think it hits harder for the person doing 1 deal a year, because it's like the reason you're not doing deals is because you're using a broken model.
Yeah.
And guys, it doesn't matter if you're doing 20 deals or if you only do 1 deal. Let me ask you guys a question. If you go to a restaurant and food was amazing, the waiter was amazing, like just an absolute 10 out of 10 experience, how many people do we tell? I don't know, maybe 5 or 10, right? Maybe like
Maybe.
some friends or family we see the next day, if that. But what if you go to a restaurant and it is the worst experience you have ever had in a restaurant? I mean, incredibly rude waiter. The food was terrible. It was overpriced, just like the worst experience ever. How many people are you going to tell? You're going to go tell over 100 people. Easy.
Yeah.
Same thing here. You don't need to do 100 deals to get jammed up. If you do one deal, but if that seller feels like they got screwed over and they felt like wrong was done to them on arguably the biggest transaction that they'll ever do in their life, what do you think the chances are that that person's willing to go out of their way to try to sue you or make a point? And who cares if you have the right paperwork, right?
Yeah, that doesn't
Right
matter.
paperwork in quotations. Guys, let me explain something. Even if you have all the paperwork that checks all the boxes technically on paper, if you're standing in front of a judge and the judge goes, yeah, I see you have the paperwork here, but I want to hear your explanation for this. Guys, like, there is that part of the legal system. You know, it's not just about having the right paperwork. You got to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Now,
Which I know you guys don't want to do. So
now I know this philosophy, it's a little new, and we're going to explain it through the training. All right. But look, the pre-flip method has you making offers that no one else can compete with because your offers are much stronger than the other fake ones. That the fake offers, they don't want to put a lot of earnest money down. They want a long due diligence period. With the pre-flip method, you can make aggressive offers, the best offers that no one can compete with. And it's the difference is we find out when we flip it to the end buyer, we do it before making the offer to the seller, and you don't need to find the buyer first either. So this is not like, oh, I need a buyer first. No, we will teach you tonight how to find the buyer that you can flip it to before you make the offer. Okay. So let's get right into the 3 steps into how to do the pre-flip method. All right. So step number 1, if you guys are ready, give me a 1 in the chat. We're diving right into the meat and potatoes. It is 30 minutes in, and we're going to blast through this thing. So you guys better have your sheets, your paper, your worksheets ready and taking notes, because we're going to answer all the questions on there. Okay. Number 1, picking the right market. Now look, it's all about finding a starving crowd. Nathan Valley has a quick story he's going to tell very fast. Nate, go ahead.
yeah, guys, I don't know if anyone here knows a gentleman named Dan Kennedy. A lot of people, like, he's known as like the godfather of direct response marketing. But Dan Kennedy, he was giving a presentation on stage one time, and he asked the crowd if you could open up a hot dog stand and you could have any competitive advantage that you want, what would it be? And so people in the crowd, they start yelling out answers. They say, oh, I want the best recipe for hot dogs. They go, oh, I want the nicest hot dog stand. I want the best location. And he goes, you're all wrong. He goes, the only competitive advantage that you need, and the only one that matters, is having a starving crowd. Because guys, think about it, right? If there's 50 hot dog stands, but there's only 2 hungry people, guys, I don't care how good you are, how great the hot dog, like, you're going to have a hard time making money. The same thing applies to wholesaling. Guys, when I was doing 100 deals a year, over 100 contracts a year, I was in a market to where there was not a starving crowd. I unfortunately had to learn this lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
Right. And I was getting deals that were smoking deals on paper. But I couldn't sell them. And here's the hard truth with wholesaling, right? Traditional wholesaling wants you to believe that, oh, if you just find a good enough deal, the money or the buyer will find you. Guys, no. That's not how wholesaling works. Wholesaling, it does not matter how good of a deal you find. It does not matter how good of a deal you have under contract. When wholesaling, if you do not have a buyer that is ready, able, and willing to pay you for it, you don't make any money.
That's right.
Okay. I really want that to sink in. It does not matter. You could be the greatest person at finding deals in the world, but if you don't have somebody that's going to pay you for them, you don't make any money. So from a wholesaling standpoint, from a business standpoint, the cash buyer, the investor, that is the person that is paying us. So that is our ideal client. So that is where we want to start our thinking from. Have you guys also noticed how when you see all the gurus on YouTube and stuff, you ever You ever noticed how like they're all in the same 4 or 5 markets? Right? You could probably name them. Where are they? Phoenix, Arizona, Dallas, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Florida. Right? Why is that? Because those are all markets that have very, very big starving crowds that are all fighting, right, for the deals that people have. Again, going back to the hot dog stand analogy, guys, I don't care if you just got this absolutely disgusting hot dog cart and it's like, bro, they're like gross, stale hot dogs. If you're the only place open at 3 a.m. when the bar's all let out, you're going to make some money, right? Same thing, guys. When you're in markets that have a starving crowd, even if you have a mediocre deal, people are fighting each other, so you're able to sell them faster and for premium prices. So
that's right.
How do we go about finding markets with a starving crowd? Now, I mentioned, right, how all the gurus, they're in like the same 4 or 5 markets. You don't need to be in one of those markets specifically. You just want to make sure you're not in a bad market. And what is a starving crowd? How do I know if a market has a starving crowd? A starving crowd is measured by, is there a lot of investor activity?
That's right.
Right? Is there a lot of investors doing deals in this market? A lot of traditional wholesalers, they keep looking for how do I find less competitive markets? How do I find less competitive areas? Guys, that is the completely wrong way to go about looking at it.
Yeah, especially if you're wholesaling. Now, we're not getting into novations, which is a different strategy, but
a competitive market, that is a very strong indicator of a great market for wholesaling. Okay. And one of the simplest ways, guys, most major metros, right? There's a good amount of investor activity going in there. Or if you're going into a market and you're like, man, there's a lot of deals going on, there's a lot of competition here, guys, that is a great indicator of a good market. Again, you don't need to be in the top like 1, 2, or 3 markets. You don't even need to be in the top 10. There's a lot of markets in the US. Again, you just want to make sure you're not in a bad market. I know a lot of traditional wholesaling says, oh, if you're new, start in your backyard. That depends on where your backyard is. Right, guys, when you're doing the pre-flip method, you don't like being local. It makes no difference. Like, again, my first deal was literally the only deal I've ever done locally. I did like 50 deals in Michigan before I ever even stepped foot in Michigan. I knew absolutely nothing about Michigan. You don't need to.
That's right. All right, Nate, so we got to move on. We got a lot
of crowd, guys.
Yep, we got to get a lot to go through. So we at the bottom within your sheet, fill out. You got to be within 1 hour of a major metro or area of higher volume investor deals. Okay. All right, guys, let's move to the next.
Guys, you can even do that with like a simple Google search too. Like there's softwares and stuff you can pay for that can help with that. But the most important thing when picking a market, don't spend days, don't spend weeks. Guys, you should do it in like 30 to 60 minutes tops.
Exactly. Now, guys, I want to tell you guys that everything that Nathan Valley said is true through experience that he's been able to see. So I also saw that by going nationwide. Not only is you'd have to be in the right market to pre-flip, but you also have to be in a market where price makes sense and it's not super low. Because if you're in a market where the average price of homes is under like $100,000, right? That's Midwest. That's like in some of the slummy areas. Like you're not going to make that much money on your wholesale fees because there's less profit to be made. There's less. You can assign the property for less. So make sure that if you're in a market, when you pick a market, that the average price point, we like to say, again, this is for your worksheet, between $300,000 to $600,000 average sales price. You do not want to be in like focus on New York if you're brand new to wholesaling or these giant markets. New York City or California where it's like super pricey. Yes, you can make big deals, but you have to be careful too that you're not starting off too high because the competition also increases in the amount of marketing spend and to get a deal. It's more technical.
Yeah, guys, and just real quick to add to that, like when I was in West Michigan, like a lot of the markets where I was getting deals, ARV, the after repair value, right? What could this sell for after somebody fixes it up? ARV was maybe only like 110, 115 in a lot of different areas. And guys, everything Payne just said, the problem with that is if ARV is like 110, 120, guys, I'm trying to get these things under contract for like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, right? Typically like, yeah, less than $50,000. The hard thing is it's very hard to carve out a profit for yourself because you're just working with such little numbers.
That's right, bro.
So price really, really is a big one too.
Next one, stack the chips in your favor. Now, every market is different throughout the United States. That's why going nationwide can be difficult, but you want to pick one that's going to allow you to do deals more easily. There's buyer demand and the profit potential is great. So for us, there's pros and cons to every market, but if you start out doing deals in a state that is an attorney state like New York or Connecticut or any of those states that there's attorneys involved, it's just going to be more friction to close your deals. So it's going to take longer. And also non-disclosure versus disclosure states. If you can get into a state that is a disclosure state, so you can see what properties have sold for, it makes it a little easier to do the business. Now, there's pros and cons to everything. I like doing business. Non-disclosure and disclosure doesn't really matter to me because the data we're going to explain to you with the pre-flip method that you don't really even need to analyze deals. It doesn't even matter. But just know that I would say the most thing to look out for, and put this on your worksheet that we sent you, if you're an attorney or a title state, attorney states will make the deals there's more friction there. All right. Now, why do we start with step one in the pre-flip method? Because you have to be in the right market for this to work. You cannot go find a buyer for your deal and do the pre-flip method and flip the house before you have even made the offer if it's under contract. If there's no buyers to talk to, it's just not going to work. So
yeah, guys,
to be in the right market. All right.
Your market it's literally the foundation that you're building your entire business upon. So again, you can build the perfect house, all the great, perfect systems and all that stuff. But if you're on a foundation of sand, it's just never going to work. And there's been a lot of times to where I've seen people to where they're actually, they had the right systems, they had the right product, they had the right skill sets, and they were developed. They were just in a bad market. And if you're in a bad market, no matter how good everything else is, it won't work.
That's right. All right. So next one we're going to hop into is how to find the hottest deals, your playbook. All right, guys. So this is the juice. You guys need this. I'm excited because we've never really broken down this easily for you guys before. Pay attention. Get out your worksheets, get out a piece of paper. You need this. So every strategy works. I don't want anyone in here to be like, well, that doesn't work, or I tried that. Everything works. It just depends what time and season you are in your life, where you're at. Okay. If you are time rich, if you have tons of time and you have no money, direct to agent is the solution for you, because direct to seller is not going to work because you need to spend money in order to bring in inbound leads. If you do outbound direct to seller, yes, you can do that if you're, if you don't have a lot of money too. And we're going to explain that. But direct to wholesaler, you don't need any money. And the next slide is going to make a little bit more sense. But you have to understand and be honest with yourself. Do I have a lot of money to market, or not even a lot? Do I have money to market, or do I have a lot of time? If you have money and time, then I would say direct to seller inbound leads is the best. But if you don't, I'm going to tell you
another way. If you could just go back to that slide real quick, or maybe that slide right there.
Yeah, this slide makes more sense. This one's a little confusing. I might have to get rid of it a bit.
So basically, guys, like direct to seller, the reason why like that's typically like the end all be all the king is because direct to seller, by far, that's where you're going to make the most amount of money.
Yeah.
Right. With direct to agent, or if you're JVing other wholesaler deals, the upside to those is you can find those deals like, they're cheap. You don't have to spend any money. You can do them for free. Direct to agent is kind of like an in between. Like you can still do like, 10, 15, maybe even $20,000 deals with direct to agent. But it is a more technical process, right?
Yeah, you have agents that are going to push back a lot on the wholesale. If you're wholesaling, especially if you're doing it the traditional way.
Oh God, good luck if you're doing it the traditional way.
God.
Like I honestly wouldn't even bother. But JVing with wholesalers, that's by far the fastest way to get a paycheck. But it's going to be a much smaller paycheck. Like those are going to be typically $3,000 to $5,000, maybe $6,000, maybe $7,000, but definitely on average, those are going to be 5-ish or less. Direct to agent can be kind of that middle ground, like 10-ish, 10 to 15. But again, there's some technical stuff there, but direct to seller, like that's where you're getting your 40, 50K deals, like the 90K deal, well, just under 90K deal we did, like, right. That's where you're going to get, and you have so much more control. And if you have the budget for it, it can be a really simple system that you set up and that just keeps turning for you.
That's right. So just so you guys know, time, these deals, you need a lot of time to do it because you're using time and not using resources and funds. If you're direct to seller and you can pay, money, obviously it's going to cost you more, but it's going to require less time. So it depends. The playbooks that you need depends on what you want. Now, this again is going to get you the fastest, quickest results out of all of them because the sellers are motivated. But anyway, so look, the next thing when it comes to finding the hottest deals is knowing who, not how. All right. There are deals everywhere. I promise you there are deals everywhere. You just got to decide which one you're going to master and which one you're going to focus on. Agents have listings. Wholesalers have contracts. Sellers have motivation. And you just have to decide which one you want to do. So you have to ask yourself, who, not how, who are you going to go target? All right. Now I'm going to show you guys really fast in this training how to go out and get direct to seller outbound. We're not going to focus on direct to seller inbound because we're going to save something for that at the end.
Can I throw something in real quick on the who, not how? Just
sure.
Super quick. Real quick, guys, with who, not how. Again, a lot of wholesalers and stuff, they focus on how, you need to do cold calling. No, you need to do direct mail. No, you need to guys, the how is not nearly as important as the who. Now, yes, there's the who of, am I going after wholesalers, agents, or sellers? But what you really want to understand there is we work with distressed properties, distressed sellers, distressed situations, right? We solve problems. That is our who. An example I like to give, it's kind of a silly example, but I live in the Northeast, right? We get snow. Guys, I don't care how perfect all my systems are, how great I am at negotiating. If I'm trying to sell, snow blowers to people that live in Miami, Florida, doesn't matter how good I am. I'm probably not going to make that much money, right? Because it's the wrong who. Now, on the flip side, if I'm talking to somebody that lives in, Buffalo, New York, and they just got slammed with 6 feet of snow and they have nothing to help them get out of the house, guys, I don't need to be that good to make money. Right? Same thing when you're talking to the right seller or you're talking to the agent on the right kind of property that's working with the right seller, right? Your job gets 1,000 times easier. Wholesaling is really hard. You'll get cursed out. You'll get hung up on when you're talking to the wrong who. And I've seen the industry, I see this promoted so much to where, it's all about offers. Make as many offers as you can, make 5 offers a day. You should make an offer to every single person you talk to. No, why do I need to try to sell a snowblower to somebody in Miami, Florida? It's a waste of my time. And all those people, they die on the hill of, but there was that, but what about that one person that said yes? What about that one person in Miami that said yes? Okay, cool. Yeah, that one person said yes and bought a snowblower. What about all the time, money, energy, and resources I wasted on the 10,000 other people that said no? Get the, what away from me. I don't need a snowblower. Same thing. You don't need to force an offer onto every single person. We're looking who is the right kind of seller. When you find the right who, this business gets significantly easier.
I love it. Thank you for that clarification. So guys, we're going to show you really quick in this training how to get deals direct to seller outbound the sniper way and how we like to teach it. So if you use any platform, there's platforms all over. I'm just using batch leads because I like batch leads in there with PropStream now. But anyway, you can go to any specific area. You can circle it with a map. You can draw a square wherever you want to go find a deal. All you have to do is go and find the right filters, and you got to filter it, and they call it list stacking. You got to stack it really deep. That's the problem. If you try to go too broad, you're going to be wasting your time just talking to unmotivated people. But one of the filters I like to do is out-of-state absentee owner. This is someone that has a rental that lives out of state. Their property is vacant and they have high equity. If you stack that, as you can see, there's not that many people in this range. There's probably about 15 people in the area that I looked at. And not only that, but with AI, you can even on specific platforms, you can take the likelihood of what they want to sell, and it takes indicators depending on their metrics and stuff, and it will narrow it down even further. So instead of you calling like 1,000 people a day on a cold call dialer, you can just reach out to these people specifically where you know the motivation that's there. Okay, that is what we recommend doing if you're going to do direct to seller outbound. Instead of just hammering the phones, just specifically reach out to people that are motivated, and that is your job. Okay, and this is how you can beat the competition of big companies, because big companies, they're just getting a dialer and they're just hammering these lists and just calling. If people don't answer, it hammer dials to the next person. But for you, you can be like a sniper. You can call 2 times in a row, 3 times in a row, leave a short message and be vague. Hey, give me a call back when you get a chance. If I don't hear from you tomorrow, I'll keep trying. Then text them. All right. And if they don't respond, try that later that day. Do this for about a week or 2 weeks. If the people do not respond, you can go and send them a mailer. You can send it if it's vacant, you can send a mailer to their address where they live. And if you're doing this with pre-foreclosures, because you can stack pre-foreclosures as well, which we'd recommend, you can go knock on the door. If they don't answer, leave a paper plate with your number, leave a note, a priority mail with your information on it, and go talk to the neighbors next door. So that's how you beat the competition. What's up?
Yeah, this is how you're able to compete with all these big companies that have budgets of tens upon tens of thousands of dollars that they're spending every single month. Again, those companies, yeah, they have a lot more money to spend than you, but exactly what Payne said. Those companies, they're using, a dialer. They typically have a virtual assistant that's calling, right? And 9 times out of 10, when that person gets a call or, it's a call that pops up as a likely spam number, and that person gets a phone call once a week, right, from a missed spam number. But when you're using something like your personal cell phone, right, if you call twice, leave a voicemail, and send a text message, and if you do that twice a day for 3 days in a row, that is 24 notifications that that person will receive. What are the chances that that person responds to you over the one likely missed spam call?
Pretty
high. This
is
how you're able to beat out a lot of these bigger people, is because you're able to, when getting started, you're able to do the unscalable thing. And the cool thing is, guys, that doesn't take that much effort, right? And on top of that, it's cheap, it's simple, and literally anyone can do it. And it's super effective.
All right. So now getting in how to get deals direct to agent. By the way, you guys get this all in the playbooks. We're just going over it in this training. Now look, how to get deals direct to agent, depending on platforms you use. This one's Privy. We like this. And there's obviously different platforms out there, but you can filter and say, okay, what properties are half the value, 30% of the value of what they're normally selling for? And you can reach out to these agents. Now you need the pre-flip method, what we're going to explain to you, in order to make this useful. Because if you just go there and you start making offers thinking that you got that you made the right offer, you could get under contract and no one could buy the deal and you just wasted all your time. But that's a different way you can go direct. There's tons of opportunities out here. You just got to pick your poison, or pick what you want to do. The next one is how to get deals direct to wholesaler. If you go to platforms that have deals where wholesalers are selling their deals, if you get on wholesalers lists, they want to sell their properties. They're looking for someone to buy it. You can reach out to them and you can bring a buyer. You can negotiate a split with them. You can just say, hey, I'll add my fee on top. Just in Orlando alone, there's 39 properties available that you guys could go and do. And this is just, if you zoom out on Investor Lift specifically, lots of opportunities. Now, I'm not saying just randomly go find buyers. There's a process behind working with wholesalers, because you could go and try and find a buyer, waste all your time because it's already sold by the time you find somebody. You need to be able to reach out to the wholesalers, ask them if they're cool with it, and then start working it. Okay. Now, as Nathan said, when you got the who, not how, guys, it's really important that you're not wasting your time with the wrong people. So you have to disqualify instead of qualify. You have to ask the right questions, and you do not just try to sell a shovel to someone in Florida, a snow shovel to someone in Florida. They don't care. All right, Nate, did you have something you want to say quickly?
Yeah, guys, again, you don't want to be using the scripts and going about the sales process the way everybody else in traditional wholesaling does. Traditional wholesaling, it's these super cheesy, like, nothing against car salesmen, right? But it's got that sleazy car salesman kind of vibe towards, oh, Mr. Seller, if I could pay all cash and close in 30 days, what's the lowest price that you'd take? Well, I can offer you, 50 cents on the dollar and close in 10 days, right? And the seller yells at you. They're super upset and they hang up on you. Guys, we don't want to do that. It's way too direct of a process. Nobody feels good about it. What we want to do instead is you want to stop qualifying sellers. You want to do the exact opposite. You want to disqualify them. What does that look like? Well, it's real simple. There are 4 questions that you want to ask. Real simple, right? Take notes on this. You want to ask, hey, Mr. Seller, why not just list it with an agent? Why not just fix it up yourself and sell it? Why not just rent it out? Or why not just stay in the property or give it to a family member? Now, we're going to make it sound a little bit nicer than that, right? It might sound something like hey, John, it sounds like a nice house. Is there a reason, you guys just don't want to list it with an agent and sort of go in that route? Yeah, we've thought about it. Okay, well, I guess what's kind of holding you back from just kind of listing it with the agent? I mean, yeah, I know there's the agent fees and the closing costs, and yeah, it could take 5 or 6 months, and they're probably going to ask you to jump through, a whole bunch of hoops, and it can be a bit of a pain, but typically after all of that, you'd probably end up with at least a little bit more money. Is there a reason you guys wouldn't want to just do that? Well, we can't because of blank. Okay, got it. Right? And then we're going to do that for the same thing. Because, guys, what happens when someone tells you why they can't list it with an agent, why they can't fix it up themselves and sell it, why they can't rent it out, and why they can't stay there? Guys, that's all their other options. So if you understand the reason why behind that, I don't care if they're asking for $1 million. They have no other option but you. So if they want to sell that property, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, if they want to sell that property, they're going to have to come down to your price. And guys, you just heard what that conversation sounds like. Does that sound uncomfortable? Does that sound difficult? No. Crazy enough. It sounds like we actually care, right? I know it sounds crazy. Because you can actually care. Guys, golden rule number 1 of my sales process, genuinely care more about the other person more than they do. Or genuinely care more about the other person's outcome more than they do. Right? And full transparency, I totally stole that from somebody because I loved it so much.
That is good.
He actually coined that. Right? So guys, it's not difficult. We're just asking the questions, right? And genuinely try to help that person out. Don't focus on closing the deal. When you genuinely put that person first, when you try to disqualify the lead, guys, you don't need to make an offer on that first call. You don't need to close the deal on that very first phone call. Again, this is real estate. These are typically the single biggest transactions that people will ever do in their entire lifetime. Despite what popular, mainstream social media promotes, the vast majority of all of these deals never happen on the very first phone call. Guys, somebody does not make the decision to sell you their house worth hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s within 30 minutes of talking to a complete stranger on the phone. And you might say, but Nate, I've seen it happen on YouTube all the time. And guys, yes, I've had people say, yes, there are exceptions to every rule. But here's the funny thing. I think there's got to be at least one. Guys, literally every single time somebody was a 1-call close, the contract ends up falling through or they end up canceling later. Because if you think about it, what type of person makes a rash decision to sell a home in 30 minutes of talking to a stranger over the phone? Typically the kind of person that will also make the rash decision of, ooh, you know what? I actually don't want to do this anymore. The only thing is all the gurus and stuff on YouTube, they don't show you what happens after that person says yes.
That's right.
So we're just keeping it real with you guys.
All right. Nathan Valley, he over delivers. I got to cut him off. He'll go all night.
He does.
Now, look, this is how pre-flipping comes in. After you find out those awesome opportunities, you need to find the best buyers. Now, this is how it comes full circle, everybody. Now, everybody get ready. Give me a 1 if you're still with me. I got to make sure you guys are ready because this is where it ties all together. Because a lot of people think that, oh, well, if I'm going to do it the right way, I need to go find a buyer first. No. You don't find a buyer first because you could eventually find a deal and that buyer could just be like, oh, yeah, I don't buy in that area. Or they could give you a terrible offer on that deal and waste all your time. No, you find the deal. And as you find the deal, you find the best buyer, and we're going to dive right into it. Look, I made the mistake. I spent $35,000. I'll say it again, $35,000 on a list that someone sold me. I wish I had that $35,000 back, but I did make, over years, I was able to use it and make the money back. It's fine. But The thing is, I thought you needed millions and millions and thousands of cash buyers. So I bought this list that had 1.3 million cash buyers on it. I spent a lot of money on it to find out, look, you only need really 2 or 3. Actually, you only need one person to buy the deal. You don't need to put it in front of a bunch of random people just hoping and praying that you're going to find the right person. There's a better way to find the best buyers. I made that mistake. Don't make the mistake. I have the list in my drive. I wouldn't even sell it to you for $1. Okay. You don't need it. Finding the best buyers the painless way. This is how you do it. You don't need a giant list. The data is there. You can find buyers quickly, fast. And the real deal is, can you negotiate with them? Can you get them to trust you? Can you get them to go check out your deal and make you an offer? Finding the best buyers. Title companies. If you reach out to title companies that are local in the area, they will tell you what are the best buyers that have been vetted. Hard money lenders. Hard money lenders lend money to buyers. Okay. Now those are 2 good ways to find. And if you go on Facebook and just say your local Facebook real estate investing group and say, hey, what's the best title company? Who's the best hard money lender? That's the best way to find. That's a really good way to find the investor friendly people to work with. Those are good. But the best one is the local flipper route. Okay. All you do is you go and you put in your property, then you put a radius around it and you say, what cash buyers have purchased a property within this area in the last year? Or there's filters that just do it for you. As you can see, guys, these are flips. You can go and you can call either the real estate agent that listed the property and say, hey, I have a property I'm working on, I'm negotiating with. You don't have to have it under contract. You just have to be honest and just say, hey, I have a property I'm negotiating with the seller. I saw that your buyer that you represent, or that you represent a lot of them, buy in this area. Do you think they'd be interested in this property? How much would they pay? Pretty simple, right? Same with the buyers. You can do the same thing with the buyers. Simple as that. Nate, I hear you huffing over there. What's up?
No, I'm good. The one thing I was going to say is right there, guys, that shows them doing it with batch leads. Guys, you can also do it with Zillow. Like, I think the last 3 deals we sold, like, I use Zillow all the time. I love using Zillow. So again, you can just go on Zillow. I'm going to look really close around my property. I'm going to look at the sold properties within like the last 12 months. And again, guys, you don't need a million buyers. Only one person can buy the deal from you. You're looking for the best buyer. And Nate, if you want to, you can go to the next slide.
Now, look, guys, the reason why this is so fire, why this is so important, let's see.
And this also, this is a very, very major part in the philosophy of the pre-flip method that separates us from traditional wholesaling.
Yeah, let me, I got to share it again. All right.
It's so important that it broke down.
Oh, it just doesn't want to move. It's too saucy. All right, let me try a different route. Guys, this is you gotta love it. You gotta love the ups
Can you
and
not click
downs.
to the next slide?
It won't let me, so give me 1 second. I'm just gonna
start explaining what's on the slide. So guys, the main thing, while he's bringing up that slide, the most important part, right? Only one person can buy the deal. Right. And the reason why we're looking for these buyers is because, again, not all buyers are created equal. Traditional wholesaling says, oh, you have to use these formulas to tell you if something's a deal or not a deal. Right. You guys know the formula: 70% times ARV minus repairs. And then for repairs, you do some generic price per square foot, right, to figure out what you think the repairs are. And then you subtract however much you want to make on your wholesale fee. And then that is, quote, your maximum allowable offer. But guys, here's the problem.
We're back, Nate.
The problem with that, guys, is not all buyers are created equal. Every single market is different. Every single property is different. But most importantly, every single individual buyer is different. And I'll prove it to you. Guys, let's say that deal right there. That's a deal that we did not that long ago. Guys, you can have one buyer to where they're looking to buy it, move into it, fix it up themselves, and then sell it. You can have a second buyer to where they're looking to buy it. They have their own construction crews that are going to fix it up and then sell it. You've got a third guy that's telling you you're absolutely crazy and the rehab's twice what you think it is because they listened to they read like one real estate book and then got all premium subcontractor quotes, right? And they're looking to fix it up and sell it. And then you've got a fourth guy You've got a fourth guy to where not only does he have his own construction crews, but because he does so many flips in volume, he buys materials in bulk at a massive discount, and he can do that same project for a fraction of the cost that anybody else can. Oh, and not to mention that fourth buyer, he owns the construction company. He owns the title company that they're going to close the deal through. He owns the real estate brokerage company that they're going to sell it through. He owns the mortgage company that they're going to give a mortgage to the buyer. Right. So it's like he's making money in like 7 different other areas. So guys, as a wholesaler, what's the golden question? What price is it a deal at? And guys, if you heard what I just said, what price is it a deal at? It's going to be different for each person. That's the hard truth, right? And that's just 4 different types of fix and flippers. What if someone's analyzing that property as a rental? What if they're looking to turn it into an Airbnb? What if they're looking to put an addition on the house? What if they're looking to turn it into an assisted living facility? What if they're looking to do a pad split and rent by the room? You get my point, right? And that's a cool thing about real estate is there's a million different things somebody can do with the property. But again, as wholesalers, all I care is like, yo, what price can you pay? What price is it a deal at? It's going to be different for each individual person. That's why we can't use these 70% formulas. Throw them out the window. It is the most valuable thing I can give to you tonight. Seriously, if there is one lesson you take from tonight, stop trying to calculate what a good deal is. You want to know what I like to do instead? I talk to a seller. What's the lowest price you'd be willing to accept? Then I talk to a buyer. Hey, Mr. Buyer, I'm negotiating this house over here. Here's some of the details. What do you think you'd be able to pay? Guys, it's really that simple, right? I know nothing about rehab. I know nothing about construction. I have no desire to ever want to know that. I don't need to know those things.
Now, let me clarify for everybody listening. If it is 50% of what Zillow says or any of these websites, then it's a no-brainer. We're going to take it down. We're going to put it under contract because we'll buy it.
But I will say when you're brand new, there's still like, you will be surprised how many times you're like, oh, Nate, it's 50% of the Zestimate.
That's
but
true.
But you don't know that area well enough. Like Midwest, dude, I found that like that happens all the time.
That doesn't even work there. That's why the 70% rule has to go out the window. Look, now this business, it requires skill. It requires like you just have to be smart about it, right? Like there is no formula that's magically going to tell you what, because he said all buyers are created different or are not created equal. I wish we could sit here and tell you what you need to offer on everything or show you, but there's just really no way other than you need to master your market and you got to know what buyers are buying in your specific area. And it's different always. The range of the offers that we get when we dispo deals is about $100,000 to $150,000. One person will offer $100,000. The next person will offer $267,000. It's that crazy. So for me to sit here and say, now this is a good deal, someone will take it. The only time I can say that is if I get it at just some crazy, ridiculous price. And I'm not willing to just tell the seller, hey, I'll give you what you want. Cause like if they want like pretty close to what I think it's worth, I'm not going to tell them I can do it. I'm not going to run that risk. That's just not how I roll. But I will tell them, hey, it sounds like the situation you're in, you need to sell fast. And I know a couple cash buyers in the area. I'm not going to blast this to a million people on that stupid list that I bought. I'm going to do it the sniper approach. I'm going to do it the pre-flipping way. And I'm going to find someone specifically that I know is going to give me feedback.
Guy, and just like that house, like, yeah, this wasn't even planned. Like that deal that we did, that house specifically, the lowest offers we had were between $200,000 and $225,000. You want to know what we sold it for? $325,000. Or was it? It might have been just over. It might have been 330. Actually,
I think it was 330. And we made 10K on it. 330, and then I think he bought it. Yeah.
Guys, that's like every deal that we do, and we work in markets all across the U.S., all different price points because we work with clients in a lot of different markets. But guys, like this is every single market, and that's why I can't just use a simple formula.
And people would not have gotten this deal. You would not get this deal if you're a traditional wholesaler. You would have offered 250. They would have said, forget you. Close. But what we were able to do is we were able to say, hey, look, the situation, because we asked the right questions and found the motivation, the situation made sense. They wanted to sell. They were motivated. Their price wasn't there yet. So what we did is we pre-flipped it to give them the understanding of realistically what they could do. We found the buyer that had happened to live right in the neighborhood. And he's like, no, I live right next door. I know this area and I want this, and I'll pay more, because he knew. Now he is the one dude that probably would have been able to do it for what we were able to do to make a deal. The other sellers, if they didn't get the price that we gave them, they would have just listed it and we wouldn't have had a deal, right? Or maybe we could have gone the novation route, but I'm just saying we wanted a wholesale and it was boom, 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 quick. All right. Pretty crazy, huh? All right, let's move to the next slide, Nate. Now, look, let the buyers make the offers for you, guys. You don't have to guess anymore. You don't have to stress. Now, I know a lot of people that they kind of goes contrary to how they work. They want to negotiate. They want to run the numbers. But I realize that I just don't know. I've been doing this for 8 years, and I just came to the conclusion, it's like, I just don't know what people will pay. But I know that if I know what a great deal is for me, because I've been doing this long enough, that I'll buy it myself, and I know the numbers make sense. But most of the time, a great deal for me, where I actually want to buy it, is not a number that they're willing to do. Okay, they're not willing to go that low.
We like fat, juicy. If we're buying the deal,
I'm buying it, it's got to be juicy.
There's spread on it.
But there's people that have crews, they have to keep them busy, that are willing to just take lower, like that risk. I'm not willing to do that. I did that a while ago. I was taking risks and got hosed. I'm not doing that anymore.
And guys, there's also people to where, like, you might just not understand their strategy. Like, I saw this a lot in like RIA meetups and stuff, where like it's just constantly people that aren't doing deals. They're like, how did I can't believe some idiot paid this price. And they're just upset because they didn't get the deal. And they're upset that somebody paid a higher price than what they were willing to offer. But the reality is, dude, like, you don't know their business model, right? Like the one fix and flipper I'd mentioned, they might be able to pay way more money because they might be making money in like 7 different other areas, right? So again, as a wholesaler, I don't care. Like, I don't get upset with the person that tells me they can only pay $200,000. I just go and I talk to the next until I find that buyer that's able to pay $330, and then I make money, right? And I sell it to the guy that can pay me $330, right? And the thing is, yeah, that guy made a ton of money on that house too. Like, it worked out as a great deal for him. And guys, that's literally every single deal that we do is like that.
Now, I don't want to get you guys confused. We do get houses under contract, right? But we're just telling you that you do not need to do that if you do not know if you can get the deal done. There's no reason in lying to the seller. You can tell them straight up what you're doing. You can wholesale transparently. It all comes down to the process. You can really enjoy this job. You can feel good about what you do, but you do not have to just make offers. And like, we had one of our clients that's newer working with us. He's like, hey, what should I offer the seller? I'm doing a seller finance offer. We love the guy, but he just didn't know what to do for the seller finance. And I said, look, man, you're doing too much work. You don't know what someone's going to pay in that specific market. You're new at it. Go find out. Go ask some questions. Go talk to some buyers that bought around where the properties were. They'll tell you what they'll pay because you have the relationship. They're not going to snake it from you. You have the relationship with the seller. Tell the seller what you're doing. Say, hey, seller, for me to buy this house, I'm going to have to get it for blank and blank. Is that something you're willing to do? No? Okay. Hey, I know some other people that might be able to pay a little bit more what you're wanting. Let me find out. Simple. Get it under contract to find out or not. I don't care. You're not doing this for with millions of people. You're just doing it for the people that are buying in the area. All right, guys. So I hope that makes sense on how you need to work with buyers and let them help you out. So this is the pre-flipping advantage, and it goes pretty in depth. I mean, it's a skill set that you have to master. But look, the right market plus the right playbook plus the right buyers equals win every winnable deal. We beat out other wholesalers all the time, other gurus, other people that are teaching people to wholesale. We beat them out because they are just sitting on the sidelines guessing, while we, instead of guessing, we just go out and find what people are willing to pay. And we come with high earnest money. We come with real offers, 0 days due diligence. We crush their offers and people go with us, even if we have a lower purchase price, because we're believable, right? We're ready to roll. Instead of, hey, accept my offer, 7 to 14 days due diligence and $100 of earnest money. Now, we don't play that. All right, guys. So look, now, after this masterclass, after this crash course where you fill out the sheet, you guys you should now know exactly where you stand. You right now have the opportunity to go direct to seller, outbound. You can do direct to agent, use the playbook there. You can do the direct to wholesaler. You have the the skills in the sense you have like the information. All right. You can go and do it. And of course, by all means, you can do it. You can try, you can do it, but there's two options right now that we come to. And Nathan, do you want to take over?
Yeah, guys. So option number one, we went over everything tonight. You know what to do. You've got the groundwork. We're giving you the playbooks. You have all the tools. You absolutely 100% can take that and you can go do deals with just everything that we went over and that we're giving you. But guys, we also have to talk about reality. The reality is, like we talked about in the pop quiz, 95% of people never even close a deal. Right? Can you go back a slide, Nate?
Yep.
To the two people. 95% of people never close a deal. The likelihood of you just watching a masterclass and taking the playbooks, the probability of you being in that 5%. And guys, you don't want to just close one deal. You want to do a lot more. You want to build a business, right? You want this to be a legacy, to build a future, to build a business of, that you want to have, right? That can give you the freedom that you want. Guys, the likelihood of you being able to do that just for the masterclass is very, very low probability, right? And guys, let's be honest. The likelihood of taking the playbooks, having the tools, and then falling back into your old habits, there's a strong chance of that happening, right?
I wish it wasn't.
With the masterclass and with the playbooks, guys, it's not that you don't know what to do. Right? Like I guarantee you probably know exactly what to do, especially what we went over with the playbooks and stuff. Like you'll know exactly what to do. The problem though, is you don't have somebody that can point out and let you know what you're doing wrong. Right? And so that's why option number 2 is something we want to go over with you guys, because we would be doing a disservice, right? We're giving you the tools. We gave you everything, right? You have it all, right? The choice is yours, but it also would be completely selfish of us not to be able to give you guys an option when we know we have all the tools, the capabilities, and everything to be able to help you guys get from where you are to exactly where you want to be. Because, again, guys, the reality, if you can go to the next slide, Nate. If I had a crystal ball that showed you your future 6 months from now, and you were $50,000 richer than you are today, but the only way to get there was to invest $10,000 with me, guys, you would invest that $10,000 with me right here, right now, if you knew for certain that was the case. So it's not about the money, right? Because guys, I'm going to explain to you in a second here. I can literally guarantee that you will have profits, right? When you say yes to what we have available for you tonight. All right. And guys, this is like, they're 100%. Like the fact that we're able to guarantee this, it is limited. It is tonight only. Like this is not something that we can do from everybody. If I had 1,000 people want to give me money tomorrow, I would not be able to say yes to all of it. When we explain all the stuff that we do for you guys, like it'll be very obvious as to why we can't do it for everybody.
Wish we could, but we can't.
Yeah. So what is it, Payne? I'm gonna let you take over from here and kind of explain what it is.
All right, guys. So what we have is called the Painless Flipping Apprenticeship. We learned that the reason why we're giving away the playbooks is we learned that giving away information does not equal results for people. So me and Nathan, for about 1.5 years, we really tried to dive into how we help people see success. And we're able to figure out that it's mainly the implementation. It's actually taking the action and seeing what they're doing wrong. That's what is required to help someone get the results they want. That's what is required. And that's why we guarantee it, because we actually dive in with you guys. We actually do the deals with you. We actually look at what you're doing. We actually look at your calls that you're doing. We try to give you the critiques, coaching, real help. If you're into wrestling and you have a coach, the wrestling coach teaches you, he sees what you're doing, and he gives you, he teaches it to you, he watches you, and then he shows you what you're doing wrong. Most coaching out there, most education is just the information. That's not real teaching, right? An apprentice, that's why we call this an apprenticeship. You come in and we watch you, we critique you, we show you what's doing better, what you need to do better. And that's the main reason why we're able to guarantee results, is because we can see and help you make the decisions to change, and we can help you make those pivots. So we actually partner with you directly on the deals. And since we've been doing this, we've been able to help our clients close deals faster with less marketing spend, with in the record speed time, as if because they came to us from other programs and other places where they had spent years trying to figure this out, spent thousands, but we were able to get it done. So no hype, no fluff, no long build up, everybody. If you already know that this is something that would help you, I'm going to drop the link for you guys to book a call. Look, we have to talk to you because we're going to be working together, right? We're going to coach you. So you have to apply, right? We have to talk because we can't just accept everyone. This is not like, hey, we're going to drop a link and everyone can buy in. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable working with us and we feel comfortable working with you, because it's got to be a two-way street. All right. It's called the Painless Flipping Apprenticeship. If you're already interested and you think this is something for you, go to painlessflipping.com, and all you got to do is fill out the quick 3-question form and book a time, and we're going to chat with you. Really low.
Is there, guys, if any of you are looking to hop on a call tonight, like right now, I've got a little bit of time. So if you want to hop on a call right now, if tomorrow's busy or something for you, I don't think it's not set up to where
it's not set up, but if anyone's interested, you can just comment. You guys can just comment in the comments and just say, hey, I'd be open to chat, and Nate can call you really quick.
I'll hop on a call with you guys.
Now let me explain why I'm so passionate about what we do, because this is exactly what I needed when I first started, guys. And by the way, go to painlessflipping.com. You just fill out the time and we'll chat with you. We're not high pressure salesmen. Like, if this does not feel like a good fit for you or us, we'll just call a spade a spade. We'll just say, hey, this probably doesn't look like it's going to work for any of us. But what this is, it's the most complete arsenal of coaching, systems, and deal support. It's deal support. We literally help you with your deals. We get them across the finish line. And the reason why I'm coming up with this, and I'm so passionate about this, is because I wanted this when I first started, but nobody was willing to really actually mentor you and hop in with deals. And because all the programs that I've seen out there, they're just set up to take your money. Unfortunately, they're set up to just, hey, we'll teach you something, and then you can ask a couple questions on a call. That's not what we do, and that's not what I wanted. So we set it up so you can actually learn hands-on.
It's literally the exact opposite, guys. Like, we put our money on the line. Like, that's not an exaggeration. Like I said, we literally guarantee that you guys will profit, right? The only way that we're able to do that is because we put our butts on the line. And again, that's why I said if 1,000 people want to sign up for this tomorrow, we wouldn't be able to do it. In fact, the amount of people that we can take on, it is so small to where, guys, like, genuinely from this call, like, I cannot guarantee you that if everybody wanted to sign up, that there'd be a spot available. And there are people that book calls and stuff with us, like, separate of what we're doing with you right here. But like, we do make a special offer specifically for you guys tonight that book a call through this. But guys, this is, why don't you go to the next slide and I'll be able to explain a little bit more.
Yeah, we're going to break down what you get in this. And these are real numbers attached to this, by the way. Like, we're not just fluffing this up. This is what we charge, or what the value of it is. So Nate, do you want to kind of explain?
Yeah, guys. So first one, the 10-week guided apprenticeship. I cannot stress that word enough. Apprenticeship. That is not a play on words. I know it's people are starting to try to use that a little bit more. Guys, this is not a mentorship. It is not a coaching program. It is not a course, right? It may have pieces of stuff like that built into it, but this is first and foremost, this is an apprenticeship. The 10-week guided apprenticeship. Guys, we literally used to charge and have been paid more than $9,000 for just that part alone. That is not an exaggeration. That is not a made-up number. The done-for-you deals, that's kind of deceptive. The number we put there is $62,000. The reason why is because if I put what that number probably is actually valued at, it would look kind of ridiculous. Because what it is, guys, it's not, we don't just partner with you on deals, right? Like, we work with you setting up your market, right? We work with you. Hey, here's the coaching, the training. Here's how to qualify leads. We already talked about that, the 4 questions. Guys, we will literally talk to your sellers and negotiate the deals and close the sellers for you and get them under contract. We will find the buyers. We will negotiate with the buyers. We will handle the paperwork, the title company, the transaction process.
All while you're learning along the way. This is how you learn.
You get to, exactly. And so you get to learn through the whole process, and you get to choose kind of how much or how little you want to do. So in the beginning, right, You master one step at a time, but you're still able to close deals from day one because you have an expert there with you, right? That's able to do the hardest parts for you while you're still learning and while you're still developing your skill set. And even if you are like relatively developed or you think you have pretty good skills, guys, you're at least able to see what does this business actually look like done at a very, very high level. So really the done for you deal, it's like you get a full-time rock star closer, right? Like I'm going to toot my own horn like a little bit here. Guys, like I'm not that bad when it comes to negotiating. We'll talk about guarantees later on and stuff, but we literally guarantee. Let me preface with national, like wholesaling industry standards, 50 qualified leads to a closed deal. That is for like established wholesaling companies. For newer investors, it is easily over 100 qualified leads to a closed deal. We literally guarantee that you will close a deal, at least one deal in less than 35 leads, or we'll give you all your money back. And guys, when I ran the numbers a few weeks ago, it was like 1 out of 8. Don't come in with those. Expect it to take 35. Be pleasantly surprised when it takes a lot less than that. Why? Because number one, the strategy that we teach you, the pre-flipping method, God, I can't talk. The pre-flipping method, guys, it is, I will go on any stage, any podcast, any interview. I will argue with anybody. It is by far the most superior thing out there. Guys, and I'm happy to switch when I see something better. This just destroys traditional wholesaling every single day of the week. It's like fish in a barrel, right? So like there's what you learn. But then on top of that, when you've got access to us, when I'm able to close deals for you, guys, not only do we have a superior strategy, but guys, I've been doing this for a minute. Payne's been doing this for a minute, right? We are masters at our craft. So when we're able to help you, I like to use the Michael Jordan example, right? If you want to learn how to make that game-winning shot like Michael Jordan, if he shows you everything step by step, that's great, but that ain't going to make you Michael Jordan. But imagine if Michael Jordan, he shows you everything step by step and he says, hey, here's what play you're going to run. I just need you to run here, catch the ball, and then call timeout. And then you can hand the ball to Michael Jordan and you can watch him make the game-winning shot. And you can do that until you feel ready to take that shot yourself. So you're still able to win games. You're still able to score points, right? So you don't get eliminated, right? While at the same time, you're learning from the best people in the game and seeing it every step of the way, right? So the done for you deals, again, that's really, you're getting a full-time closer and not just like an amateur closer. It's us, right? You're getting a full-time transaction coordinator who's a rock star coordinator, us, right? You're getting a rock star dispositions manager, right? Us.
And we're going to show you what this looks like too. We're not just talking. We're going to show you guys what we do. Yeah.
So like, guys, honestly, that's 62,000. I just tried to look up what's like a base salary number for like a decent closer. And that's kind of the best I could find. And that's not even including commissions or this or that. If you had a full-time real estate closer, a full-time dispositions manager, a full-time transaction coordinator, right? And also not including legal team stuff like that, which like we do kind of come with. Would it be unreasonable to say that would probably, like salary wise and commissions, easily be hundreds of thousands of dollars a year?
Yep.
Right. And like, so that's why I didn't put that number, because I know that sounds a little silly, but when I explain it to you guys, you can see how that really adds up. That is why this is able to work, because the reason why other programs aren't able to get the same results or even come remotely close to what we're able to do is, again, it comes from the apprenticeship system of learning. Guys, go as far back in time as you want, right? When you look at how human beings learn, guys, we don't learn from someone just showing us on video, right? No, we learn from actually doing the thing hands-on, one step at a time. Guys, if I wanted to be a doctor, yeah, you might go to school for a while, but then you work at a hospital underneath a senior doctor until you hit certain benchmarks, and then you're able to go off and be on your own. If you work in law enforcement, it's the same thing, right? If guys, like any job that you work right now, I bet probably a really, really strong chance that you shadowed somebody or worked with somebody and got to do it hands-on and learn step by step. That is exactly what we did here. Now you might say, well, Nate, like if this is how everybody learns stuff, like why is this so revolutionary? Guys, because in the information space, right?
Nobody
a
wants
lot of the other gurus and stuff out there.
Nobody
Guys,
wants
like
to do it.
I'm be real with you guys. This is a lot of work. Like it's a lot of work. I'm closing your leads. I'm talking to your sellers. We're doing the follow-up. We're finding buyers. We're negotiating with the buyers. We're handling the paperwork, attorneys.
But Nate, you got to explain. We got to explain why we do this. Is because we don't feel right about the traditional way of wholesaling and the traditional way of education, where they just give you information and they say, good luck, I hope you figure it out. Because some people do, but a majority don't succeed. So we said, hey, we got to create a product and offer that's going to get people results, because that's what that's what you guys want. You want results. You want to progress. So now, along with this, you comes with the automated seller lead system. Guys, I've spent thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars on leads. This automated seller lead system, you turn it on. It's PPL. You turn it on. It comes directly to your inbox. It is the hottest leads. You have to be a qualified investor. Not everybody knows about this system. I would say it's proprietary to our company. Working with us, because you're not going to be able to get set up with them unless you have a in. So that's who we hook it up with. Value way more than that, because you could lose a lot of money trying to figure out the system that they have dialed in. What's up?
I want to say for the automated seller lead system, like that always reminds me, because I know there's a lot of people that are like, Nate, I'm busy. I work a full-time job. I have a family. Like I don't know if I have the time for wholesaling. Guys, because of the automated seller lead system, and also what we're able to do from you, and just the systems that we give you guys, most of the people we work with work 8 to 10 hour days and have like family and kids at home. Like Mike, who just recently finished closing his 4th deal. Like he works like 10-hour days and has like family, kids at home. Like he has very little time. But guys, this system, you don't need 10, 20 hours a week. Like you don't even need 5 hours. Like you can literally close deals and make money in less than 60 minutes a week. Seriously, like genuinely. Right now, not with all strategy. Nate, are you saying that like if I'm doing all the work myself and I want to generate my own leads and I don't want to use like an automated seller leads, like no, like there's different things that are going to take more work, right? But like that's where there's a hybrid. If it's like, hey, I've got a little bit of a budget, or I've got some budget, but time is something I don't have. Awesome. Like this works perfectly for you. If you're like, Nate, I've definitely got a little bit of time. I can be flexible with time, but I really don't have like a whole lot of marketing budget. Awesome. Like some of the other strategies that we talked about, we go a lot deeper in on those, and like you can start generating money from those. So again, it's the biggest thing that we do is none of this is a one size fits all game plan. Everything we do is completely customized, because every single person has their own unique circumstances, their own unique situation, their own unique strengths and weaknesses, right? And all of that is really important when figuring out what game plan is the best fit for somebody, right? Because every game plan is going to be a little bit different. And I'm a really, really big believer in the devil is in the details. So that's kind of what comes into play there. So whatever your situation is, though, guys, I promise you that like we work with people that have extremely busy schedules, and we work with people that they've got time, so it's just it all depends on what game plan is going to be the best fit for you. But we absolutely have game plans for you.
Well, Nate, I know you're explaining this a lot, but I want to show them what it looks like. So let's.
I know. I get too excited. Guys.
You get excited. I know, because we believe and we love this. We love what we do. So weekly coaching, we literally We break down your calls, your deal analysis. We help you. We pretty much tell you to pre-flip it if you're trying to analyze a deal for too long because it's unnecessary. But a lot of people want to know, which is fine. One-on-one support, guys. We work with you one-on-one support because you on a deal that we're going to work together. We're going to tell you what's going on. You're going to learn as you go. You're going to get the support. Really, up until that point, your job and what we're going to teach you to do is to qualify and get leads. We help you know what to do, but really the one-on-one support comes when you have an opportunity and we can help you all the way. Now, that doesn't mean you have to work with us on deals. You don't. It's just it's just available. We can coach you to close without having to be a part of your deal. It's just if you want us to do the negotiating, if you want us to find the buyer, if you want us to do the transaction coordination, which we're going to show you what it looks like. That's where we get involved. Okay. And there's splits involved. Lifetime portal, deal vault. You get access to all the calls and you get lifetime access to the courses and the training. Okay. That comes in here. And you get access to the mastermind community, all for a total value of $85,000. That's all we're charging, guys. That's not a lot of money when it looks, I'm just kidding. You can all do it. All right. No, that's not what we charge. Okay. But that is the total value. I would argue even more, but anyway, let's keep going, Nate. And this is where the part that I like is, I like this part too, but I like getting into showing you guys what it looks like. This is Mike, his first deal, $18,590. He said, let's go. Thanks. Couldn't have done it without you. So we didn't pay Mike, but for a lot of you that are probably like, I don't know if I believe that. Don't worry. We got more. For Caden, $40,000 on his first 2 deals. He's like, yo, guys, I sent you the wire. I've never been so happy to pay.
Real quick. I don't know if you saw, literally an hour and a half ago, he texted. You probably can't see that. He just got another deal.
Let's go. Another deal. So guys, look, all through the process, this is amazing. And this is why we love what we do. Nelly struggled for years to do her first deal, started working with us. She got her first deal within a couple of hours, me showing her how to do one of the playbooks that we're giving out. I showed her how to do it. She did a deal, a couple hours. Later, she went on to do over 6 figures in under 6 months. All right, guys. I don't know why that slide bounced. Okay, there you go. Boom. This one was a nice one, wasn't it? $86,000. That we did with the pre-flip method, by the way. Then next we have my boy Daniel. Within a couple of months of joining the program, he was able to get deals, and he's done many more after this, but $125K on 2 deals. And this was just implementing a strategy that he did not know about until he started working with us, which was incredible to see him take action. Nick was able to do $40,000 on his first deal and crushed it on that one. I don't know why the slides are going. They're going so slow. The Griffith family. I love this one. So they had made an offer on a property on the MLS that I had made an offer on before they got it. So I offered, at the time, because I knew it was a deal like at 325. They were new. They offered 380 to the agent. This was on market, and they were way overpriced. So they were in a program that I was helping with, and I said, hey guys, you're way too high on that one, but I can help you guys find a buyer and help you renegotiate it. I helped them renegotiate the whole process. They were able to get it down where it needed to be. We pre-flipped that bad boy, and it was a $25,000 deal with fees involved, and then we split the deal. Okay. Justin, $17,200 on his deal. Jared, he was able to do a deal using one of the playbooks, $10,000. Yoel was on a masterclass that we just taught, just like this. He was able to do 2 deals within 7 days, crushed it. And he said, hey, thanks for what you guys taught. What did he say? In 24 hours. Anyway, crushed it. Now, look, everything we're showing you, we've done too. It's not like I'm just flapping my gums and being like, yeah, this works. We do this still. We do this. We've done deals and we do deals like this. So what does it look like inside, guys? Well, Nate just killed it. He just he just told you everything about the done for you deals.
I beat that dead horse.
He beat it, but we're going to beat it a little bit more. We don't just teach you guys. We partner with you. Now, it is optional. We don't have to do the deal with you, but it is available because we know that is the best way to learn.
And now, guys, again, wait, I just want to stress that real quick. The reason why also is because this program is designed to where our interests and your interests are in alignment. Like, we succeed when you succeed. Like, this isn't pay me all this money up front, and if you don't get any results, well, that's just too bad. No, like, remember, we literally guarantee that you will profit. We guarantee that you will close deals, right? And so, again, you don't need to partner with us. But again, when you succeed, when you profit, right? If we partner with you, right? So do we. We get to share in that. So your success is in our best interest. I believe that is like so critical in any type of program like this, to where I feel like they should all be structured that way. Because most of them, yeah, they want you to give like, oh, well, why don't you pay me like $25,000 or $50,000 upfront first, and maybe you'll get results, maybe you won't. Like, no, I'm not a fan of that at all. Right. So no, put your money where your mouth is. Right. Meaning the other coaches, gurus out there. Right. And that's exactly what we do. So that's why we literally guarantee, guys, like, if you do the bare minimum, right? This isn't a guarantee like, hey, you can show up and do absolutely nothing and you'll make money. No, guys, this isn't a get rich quick scheme. Like, this isn't some scammy product. No, like, you obviously are going to have to do something, right? But literally the bare minimum, like, it is not to, again, we guarantee you will close at least one deal in 35 qualified leads or less. And like I said, the stats were more like 1 out of 8. Again, do not come in with those expectations, right? Expect it to take 35. Be pleasantly surprised when it takes much less than that, right? We like to set proper expectations. But again, I say all that to say what we do works, right? We work this with you guys. Your success is in our best interest.
Right. Hey man, let me just show them what we do. All right. Yeah, you can keep. Yeah, you won't stop if I don't stop you. All right, guys. So right here, this is a deal that we're working right now in Atlanta, and we're partnering with someone on it. They came to us that needed help. I have done in the transaction coordination, going back and forth, 28 emails to the title company, 11 emails, 56, 19, 7, 27, guys. This is just, you name it. This is what you guys don't see. This is just with the title company. Now, let me explain what's going on with this deal. This is an ovation. If you don't know how to get deals on the MLS and listed when you're not a real estate agent, that's what we do. We get properties on the MLS. We are not real estate agents. We know how to do it. We're able to get paid. This property was had gone through, it was on a clouded title. We were able to get the title clear, right? Where I was able to talk to the wholesaler. He removed the cloud on title. It was going to auction. It was going to get auctioned in a tax auction about 2 months ago. We got it extended. We've gotten the tax sale extended to March of 2026 of next year to give us enough time. We have a buyer in place. The buyer's ready. We're going to make, I think it's an $18,000 deal, and then we're going to give a portion of it to, we're going to split it with the wholesaler we're working with. Now, guys, all this work, do you think I want to do all this work just for fun? No, I don't. But we are committed to work with people that are committed to work with us. We want to teach them as they go. And obviously, this has not gone as smooth as normal deals. But hey, this is what you face. This is the reality. Okay. And Nathan Valley,
that seller was also dead set on getting $275,000 for her property.
And we were able to negotiate her down. Now, with the reality. It wasn't just some funky like mind Jedi trick where we're like, hey, you got to take lower. No, we were like, hey, your home is not selling right now. Anyway, we took care of it, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is literally what we do to help you close deals. And if you are new, good luck getting a title, a clouded title taken off, getting an auction sale postponed, talking to the seller, getting on the MLS, negotiating with buyers. I mean,
you know what? This is actually such a good point. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off real quick because this deal specifically, right? So we got it extended to March. But guys, when the person first came to us, right, they were like, hey, right, the person that we partnered with on this deal, she was going to lose the house and get foreclosed on. It was in like 2 or 3 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a very short timeline. Traditional wholesalers
would have blown this.
They didn't, like, if the seller didn't know any, and like, to be honest, the seller wouldn't have known better. Like, she did get mixed up with a traditional wholesaler. Like months prior, and they just wasted her time. If another wholesaler had called her and said, oh yeah, absolutely, we can do, I can get you the 275, no problem. We can pay all cash, blah, blah, blah. And if they weren't able to do any of these things, guys, in 2 weeks, and if they were like, oh, hey, sorry, we couldn't get it done, we need to cancel the contract, the seller would have lost everything.
Yep.
And guys, and also let me make another point real quick, because I see a lot of gurus out there to where they die on the hill of like, but real estate offers and contracts that they fall through all the time on the MLS and with real estate agents. Like, hey, they need to know what they're signing. Okay, guys, like, let's take that argument. Let's go one step deeper. Yes, offers fall through all the time on the MLS, but here's the huge glaring difference. Offers on the MLS, whether you love them or hate them, the sellers, they do have a real estate agent that is representing them. And whether you love them or hate them, that real estate agent is technically a real estate professional that has a much, much better understanding than that seller likely does. And so they have somebody that is representing them that can help translate, hey, here's some of the risks associated with this offer. When it's a traditional wholesaler or some of these gurus companies, right, and they're calling these sellers, the sellers do not fully understand what they're getting into and what they're signing, and they don't have a professional that's able to that's representing them, that's able to communicate that to them. So it is not even remotely close to apples. So when a contract just falls through and a seller gets foreclosed on and loses everything, guys, like, that's not cool. That's why I love that they're coming out with more laws and more legislation.
It makes our job easier.
Dude, so much easier. Guys, because here's my big thing with wholesale. Like, you see all these gurus putting out videos. Oh, hey, watch out. Like, here's the new legislation. Guys, if every deal you did, if the seller was happy and the buyer was happy, whether you had the right paperwork or not, you'll probably be fine. So why don't we focus? Now, guys, hear me loud and clear. Use the right paperwork, follow all the laws, right? Do everything legally, right? Obviously, we do that. But like, in my personal opinion, just above that, do the right thing. Like, if every customer is happy, guys, like, you don't really have much to worry about. On the flip side, you might do everything legally on paper, but if everybody you work with is pissed off, guys, I don't care how great your paperwork is. You're gonna get in some trouble.
Yeah, man.
Right?
I bought a house when I did not know what I was doing. I bought a house subject to that landed me in court because I did not know what I was doing. You might watch a video about how great subject to is in contract for deed and seller finances that will land you in court. And you'll be shaking in your boots like I was when I was a brand new wholesaler 8 years ago. I was so scared, but I was able to figure it out. And I later made $150,000 on that deal when I sold it, which is dope. But I was scared at the time, and that does not always work. I could have lost out. And the thing is,
I could have ended up very different.
I could have lost $150,000. So you roll the dice, but you don't have to roll it alone. Roll it, right? I'm just saying, like, you can get around people that know what they're doing. Now, I'll tell you about a Jedi ninja trick we did on this deal.
And again, just a reminder, guys, if you have not already done, guys, even if you're on the fence, like, if you have a specific burning question, right? Like, oh man, I've got this one question I really want to get answered. Like, guys, click the link, book a call. And again, we don't have a huge sales floor with like 100 guys. Like, it'll be with one of us that you're chatting with, right? So even if you're on the fence and you're like, like, I'm not sure if this will be the guys, just book a call. Like, we're happy to chat with you. Like, worst case scenario, you'll at least know a little bit more about it. And then maybe you can, I don't know, maybe it'll be a better fit for you down the road. Or maybe you'll be like, okay, great, I learned more. Like, yeah, it's not the fit for me.
Or maybe we'll save you from wasting your money doing something else, like joining another. Like, we're never going to poo-poo on another program, but we're going to tell you the truth. Now, look, guys, so I'm going to show you a Jedi ninja move that we did. This house, we originally, because the seller wanted like 275, we had listed it at 320. And we were getting showings because the house looked nice, but people would go in and it did not look like that. It was trash. So we had like tons of people going. No one was making. I think the offers we were getting, because it was so bad when people went, were like 220.
Also, real quick, this deal's in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Where do you live, Payne?
I live in Canada.
I live in Connecticut.
Yeah.
So, guys, neither one of us are driving or walking this house. We didn't take those pictures. All right. You guys don't have to either.
So what happened, guys, this is a Jedi move that, again, only years of experience would allow you to try this and do this, and it worked, right? So this house was originally listed $75,000 more because we wanted to see. And again, you have to guess on these deals. Like there's no like playbook that's just like, hey, this is exactly what you have to do. Real estate, you just got to know, you got to go with the flow. So we went 320. We had tons of showings, but people were coming in and they were offering like 220, 230. So what we did, we said, hey, let's drop it lower than like the lowest priced home in the area. So when people see it, everybody gets excited and they bid it up. So we were getting offers of like 220, 240. We dropped it down to this price. My phone was blowing off the hook. It was melting. And it was melting so much that the agents were complaining to the brokerage we were using here that like we weren't answering the phone when I was talking to everybody. We were able to get this thing bid up to about 275 minus fees. 267 was the offer, when the highest we had received was like a maybe a 240. So doing things like this enables us to help you make more money because we know the tricks. Would anyone logically drop $75,000? Heck no. But did we do it? And did it make sense? And did it work out? Yeah. Now, there's unfortunately still some title issues going on, and the government is shut down right now, unfortunately. So this would have closed a long time ago if it wasn't for the government being trash. All right. So
hey, you're in Canada now, bro. You can't be talking smack.
Governments here, there's always issues. All right. So guys, let's go into what you get with the 10 weeks of complete training. Nathan Valley also slayed that. So we're just going to show you what it looks like here. You get a course. You get to start here. We show you your plan. We help you with your mindset. We help you set goals around what you building the dream business, not what people tell you to do, but what is actually going to accomplish your dreams. A lot of people think, oh, I want to do 100 deals a year. Do you really want to do 100 deals a year? Because that sounds like a nightmare to me. I don't want to do 100 deals a year. I want to be strategic on who I work with, do bigger deals, and do less so I can spend time with my family.
Guys, why don't we focus on how do we make the profit of 100 deals a year, but by only doing 10 to 15?
Because when I started doing my wholesaling business, I was doing a lot of deals, but I was not making the money that a lot of deals should make you because I was just bleeding money trying to just scale. That is a mistake.
Guys, here's the thing. Like, this is why wholesaling by far, I don't care what you want to do in real estate. Most people don't want to just stick with wholesaling. And I think that's a smart move. Like, you should have other goals, in my opinion. Well, you can do whatever you want, but wholesaling doesn't have to be your goal. But by far, I will argue with anybody about this, there is no better place to start. Like, this is the best foundation for the business by far, because if you know how to find a deal, negotiate it, acquire a deal, and you know how to be profitable just from finding a deal, right? You know how to make 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 just for finding the good deal. Well, what if once you've developed your skills, what if instead of wholesaling that deal for a $20,000 profit, what if you instead decide to fix and flip it? And instead of just making $20,000 on that deal, you now make $70,000.
That's what Brandon did. One of our clients that we work with.
It's literally like, I'm not making those numbers up, guys. That's literally exact numbers from one of our clients. Like, they could have wholesaled it for 20K. Instead, they flipped it. And I'm sorry, it wasn't 70K. I think after all numbers, cost, everything, and when the market was taking a dip, he only made like 63,000 and change. Poor Brandon, right? So,
way to go, brother.
That's my point, guys, is you can upgrade your strategy. And so, you'll still wholesale some of those for 20K, and then maybe you'll pick one or two or three, and maybe you'll want to do some fix and flips and make 3 or 4 times the amount of money than you would just wholesaling it. Maybe you want to buy some of those and acquire them as rental properties, right? And rather than just making a $20,000 wholesale fee, rather than just making a $60,000 to $70,000 fix and flip, maybe you have a 6-figure or multiple 6-figure net profit when you have that property as a rental for 5+ years, right? So you still spend the same amount of effort, right? Time, energy, money, whatever, to acquire the deal. Upgrade your strategy. You just make it worth more and more and more to you.
Exactly.
Right? Now, look, and sorry, I just want to finish one point real quick. And guys, here's the thing. The reason why wholesaling is the best place to start is because when you know how to find it, because I don't care if multifamily, syndications, if you want to do fix and flip, realtors, title companies, closing attorneys, guys, literally nobody makes money until somebody first finds a deal. When that is the foundation of your business, you know how to find and acquire really, really good deals. When you know how to do that yourself, you will always be in control of your business. And here's the thing with wholesaling, guys, when you're brand new, you're going to make mistakes. Now, we're going to help you pretty much dodge all the mistakes, but you're still going to make some mistakes. The problem is if the very first deal you try to do, you do a fix and flip, I promise you're going to make mistakes. Hopefully, the problem is if you're doing a fix and flip or if you're buying a rental property or something along those lines, guys, making a mistake can literally bankrupt you and just keep you completely out of the game before you even got started. Wholesaling, guys, like you don't lose anything because you're not acquiring the property. You're not taking on that risk, not right away. So what are the chances that when you do want to fix and flip, when you do want to buy a rental property, what are the chances that you're going to be more prepared because, oh, I know what a good deal is because I've been working with the best investors in my market for the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 deals.
That's right.
You're going to know, like you get free mentorships by wholesaling.
It's a natural progression. That's why I think most people want to start here. So Nate, I'm just going to finish real quick explaining what they get in the course.
Yeah, sorry.
The portal. So anyway, great job though. I love the passion. So when you come in here, guys, we help you set your life plan according to what you want to accomplish before Nate went on that tangent. And then we do a one-on-one call. You book a call, me and you will sit down and look at your goals. I'll help you pick your market. We'll pick your market and I'll give you the information so you can start your automated lead funnel system when you work specifically with us. All right. We get your marketing funnel set up. We even teach you how to do the sniper approach more in depth. Okay. We talked about that a little bit on the masterclass today, but you get that too. So you can go find deals yourself while those leads are coming in. We set you up with our system that is pre-built through ReSimply. We have specific automations that come in it that follow up with your leads. We teach you how to qualify. Nathan Valley has an awesome sales course in there. The list goes on, guys. And not only that, but Nathan Valley, in the course, he breaks down his sales process, but he is awesome at sales. So let me show you guys really quick what you get when you work with Nathan Valley and me. Nathan Valley, when he works with you on calls, he will actually record himself talking to the seller and he will break it down and send it to you that you can watch it and learn as you go. So how incredible is that? Whispering Oaks, this one look how many calls that took. That took 10 calls. And there's some that didn't even
there's calls. Like, guys, and that's the reality of wholesaling. Like that seller, like that is such a good, that deal specifically is such a good example of like, what is real estate? What is wholesaling actually like?
And by the way, real quick, I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah.
These are just for Mike. This is just the recordings for one of our clients that has done 4 deals. Okay. So, many more calls that he's done. And anyway, I just had to explain that there's just 4 for one client. And that's what you get. I mean, in what world does this happen for anyone else that is a part of any?
Guys, and that deal specifically, actually, Whispering Oaks, that seller was in pre-foreclosure, and he was pretty open to where he was chatting, like, and looking for, actively searching out every single investor wholesaler he could possibly find and talk to. Guys, that's like what we were competing against. Guys, do you think I was concerned at all?
0%.
Why? Because they were all doing traditional wholesaling.
They were all making terrible offers with low earnest money, right? And what else were they doing? Like
his favorite offers was at the very end, right? And also because of the sales process, he was telling me what everybody else was at. He had offers at 305, and I think it was 310. He went with me at $279,000. Why on earth would he do that? Well, it's not because he liked me. Guys, like sellers, like they'll like you, but make no doubt about it, they will go with whatever offer they feel is best for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one misleading thing with rapport. Just because somebody likes you doesn't mean they're willing to leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table because they had a nice conversation with you.
Exactly.
That's why being able to make offers that other people can't compete with is the most important part. So yeah, my offer was only $279, but
it was real.
I was also able to explain to him, oh, those are wholesaler offers. Here's how you know that, right? They have inspection periods. They can back out. They have little earnest money deposit. Our offer had a $10,000 non-refundable earnest money deposit, 0-day inspection period, and we could close on his timeline. And we also allowed him to stay in the property for an additional time period after he got the money. Now, you might say, Nate, but I don't have $10,000 to put down. Guys, I'm not putting down 10 grand. Guys, we've had deals where we're putting down $50,000.
I'm not putting down any money ever because the buyers do.
Guys, I keep my money in my bank. No, guys, when you have the right process, you don't need any of your money for any of that stuff. When you have the right process, right? What we call the pre-flipping method, the process that we do, guys, all of that is coming from the buyer, right? So one, why did he go with my offer? Because I'm so easily able to pick apart, dude, those aren't even real offers. They don't even know if they can sell it. Oh, they've already looked at the house. Well, then they should have no problem.
Yeah. Why do they need
it? They don't need an inspection period. They've already seen it.
And we explain that to them, and these buyers, it makes sense. And the sellers are like, oh, it makes sense. So going back to the next thing, the easy button lead system, we kind of explained it, but this is what it looks like. The leads come in, they drop the information, they give you the price. They've already been pre-qualified in the sense, do they want to sell? If you get information and it is not accurate, you can get a refund. Okay. So what other marketing service sends you information? And not only that, you can get a refund if the information is wrong or they don't answer. Nothing out there. There's nothing better than this. You guys, and this is what you get when you work with us, because in our apprenticeship, because we have vetted a lot of the different companies, and this is the best one. Now,
it's also like, it's literally zero risk marketing. Like I can't stress that enough. Like, these are people that are actively searching out your solution right now. But Nate, what if I spend money on marketing? Like, what if they don't answer the phone? Or what if it's a wrong number? Or what if they do pick up the phone and they're like, hey, I don't have any interest in selling? You can literally get your money back. So you are only spending money on real leads and real people. Now, I don't know if anyone here has had the pleasure of spending, 5 or 10 grand on like pay-per-click or direct mail and getting absolutely nothing from it.
I've been there. It's terrible.
Yeah,
I did there. I was there when I was doing the whole traditional wholesaling route, because I was just guessing, right? I was just like, oh, this offer seems low enough. Oh, they didn't accept it. Dang it, I missed my opportunity. Look, guys, don't do that. Let me show you the next thing. You get this system. Next thing you get is the weekly coaching calls. Now, Nathan Valley does an amazing job on these coaching calls. He does the one-on-one support. He just had a record time the other week. I don't want to talk about the record time because I don't want to set the expectations there. But look, we're not done going into what you get. As you guys are watching this, it goes on, because just we over deliver. If you guys are seeing this and you're like, look, I just want to talk to these guys and see how much this costs. I want to talk to them and see what this looks like. We're not going to bite you. We have to see if we would be a good fit to work together. If you're watching this and you're like, honestly, these guys are clowns, jabronis, I don't want to work with these guys. That's fine. All right. Don't book a call if you think we're clowns, because you won't want to work with us anyway. But if you want to work with us, we're pretty nice guys, and we'll see if it makes sense to work together.
I mean, yeah, we're kind of flexible too, but
we are clowns.
We definitely clowns that know how to help you guys close deals. I can say that much.
You get that, and the one-on-one support comes from working on deals. There's really no reason to just like ask, what's the ARV of this? Like, what all these questions? It's like, the questions really come in the one-on-one partnership, or like one-on-one support comes when we're doing deals. That's what you need. That's where all the questions will come. If you don't even have a seller to talk to, that's what you got to figure out. You got to get in front of people, and we gave you the playbook so you could do that. All right. We solved that problem. Go talk to somebody. We'll help you close them. All right. Next thing. Now you get the lifetime training vault and portal, deal breakdown vault. Look at all these calls. You get all the recordings. You can consume them as many as you want. They go, all I got to say is you get all the recordings. They're very valuable because they're breaking down deals, breaking down trainings. You get the vault. You get access to it. The pre-flip private mastermind community, guys. We, as you can tell, like it's just me and Nathan. At the moment, we don't have some giant company, and for a reason. We have not set this operation up to take in thousands and thousands of people and just take their money. We have set this operation up to help people close deals and work with them and help them progress. So in the pre-flip mastermind community, it is people that are trying to do deals. It's people, it's not a giant group. It's literally like a tight-knit community of people that are working and trying to see what works for them. And, I would say it's very valuable. We pump each other up. We write our goals, and I look at your goals. We post our success. We help people pick their markets. The group is small, but it's like I said, it's tight knit, and we focus on your results. All right. Now, look, we can only work with a few of you guys, and that's why I like this job too, because we're not trying to say, hey, we need to work with 1,000 of you. We don't. We're only looking for a few. And we only take on a couple people per month because we actually do the deals with you and we actually guarantee results. So we can only do it for a little bit. Once those partnership spots fill up, enrollment closes. All right. And that's why we haven't done a masterclass like this in a long time, because we were working with our clients. We're back because we need to work. We're open, and our process is more dialed in. We're ready to work with some more people. Book a call. We're looking to work with some people.
We've also streamlined a lot of things really, really well. So we've been able to be more flexible, like with price and stuff for you guys. But one thing is still true is again, the more people that come on, it's the less we're able to take on. So it's like the more the seats fill up, the more expensive it gets, because we just don't have room for everybody. So again, if it's something that you even think you're maybe slightly interested in, guys, go to the link right now, type in painlessflipping.com, book a call. Again, like, simple conversation. It's not a hard sales call. We just like asking kind of where you're at in your journey, what your goals are and what you're looking to do. And if it sounds like we might be a fit, cool. We chat a little bit more with you, about what that might look like. And if not, again, no harm, no foul. Like, no big deal. You got to learn a little bit more about it. We got to chat with you, which is always nice. And that's it. So yeah, I think you just put it in the chat there. So if you haven't, click the link now, book a call.
In the exact same way that we'll talk to you is the exact same way we talk to sellers. Hey, you thinking about selling that property? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to sell it to us? Are you sure you want to do that? How about you fix and flip? If you come on to us and you want to say, hey, I really want to get into wholesaling, say, are you sure about that? Do you really want to get into wholesaling? Because this is a grind. It's going to take a lot of work. But if you do want to go this route, we can help you. All right. We're actually probably going to push you away just so we make sure you're committed. It's the same thing we do with sellers. All right. It's not like some crazy mind trick. It's just verifying if you're serious. Okay. So next thing, there's a guarantee. We talk about it a lot. Nathan Valley talked about the 35 leads. This is the straight up stupid 60-day refund action-based guarantee. As long as you plan on using the course, the system that we give you, you have 60 days to try this out. And if you are not 100% satisfied, you have a completely risk-free refund guarantee, $100 check with your name on it to cover your marketing costs if we waste your time. Okay. Now, how are we able to do that? Is because we know that if you go through our system, if you go through the course and you take the steps, and again, it's not just you show up and you're looking around, and you're like, oh, this doesn't work for me. You got to go through it. If you're not satisfied and it doesn't produce the results you want, we'll freaking give you a refund. All right. Now look, more than 7 years of college. All right. If you take 7 years of college, it's going to be $200,000 in debt or more. Depends where you go to college, maybe to make $90,000 a year and 60 hours a week at a desk job doing something you hate. You work with us. We guarantee those results. Does college guarantee your results? Absolutely not. You could go get a degree in something that doesn't even exist next week with AI. All right. Look, 30 days, debt-free, and sky's the limit. As we talk to you, Caden has been texting us during this. He must not know we're live. It's all good. He did $40,000, and his marketing spend was minimal. And we help him. We help him put we coach him along, right? We help him through the apprenticeship, guys.
Caden also full-time job, wife, kids at home.
just had a baby. Now look, and
Yeah.
we get to know you guys. So again, it's important that we know you like us and we like you because we work together. Okay, pretty closely. Now, all what we have is all for the price of less than freaking college. All right, and you get the results. The sky's the limit, right? There's no limit. There's no ceiling to what you can make in this business. It's amazing. All right.
Yeah,
More
guys, it's
results.
$200,000 worth of it's considerably lower than the $200,000.
Yes, it is. Now, look, more results and proof, guys. Like we've done this. We helped. This is Noble, $11,400 on his first deal, biggest check yet. Daniel, as we talked about, we've helped Justin. We've helped many people, and it's been fun. You know, this is Joe. He did first deal. It was $5,000. He wrote me a nice little letter. David was able to do some big deals where he was at. Was able to talk to Joel, helped guided him through some of his journey. This guy did Heim did a $17,000 pre-flip deal, and more. Like these aren't loading, but there's some more people that followed our process and seen awesome results. Okay, now can you actually? Okay, sorry. The only true way to lose here is not hopping on this zero risk investment in your future by just hopping on a call and seeing if we're a good fit to work together. Can you actually do this? All right, ask yourself this. Can you find motivated sellers? Absolutely. We just showed you how to do on this masterclass. Can you say the right words from our script? Absolutely. If you can read, yes. Can you find buyers like us? Absolutely. Can you get near immediate help? Yes. Obviously, you can't call me while I'm sleeping in the middle of the night, but Nathan Valley's pretty available. He's usually respond. I'm just kidding. Don't hit him up.
Too available.
Yeah, we're available. Okay. During work hours, I would say you're going to be able to get us, and that alone is more than most people are willing to give you in this industry. Can you do this? If I spoke to the seller for you, found the buyer for you, handled the paperwork for you, and got you to see, how it was all done? Absolutely. Well, this is Dylan. Did his wholesale deal for $17,809.55. Noble, as I was telling you, $11,400. Pre-flip that deal. Now, look, can you afford to stay on the fence with this? Well, only if you don't mind paying more later. We are running a discount right now to get people in. We're looking for partners now. We don't want to waste time. Only if you don't mind losing tons on real bonuses. Only if you don't mind losing tons of money doing this on your own. Guys, we believe that anyone can figure this out, but we also believe if you have never done it, you're going to waste considerable amount of time. And unfortunately, time is money. Only if you don't mind wasting your time, like I said, 6, 12, 24 months and having it done versus having it done in 30 days. And if you don't mind rolling the dice and versus having it handled for you, go to painlessflipping.com, just book a call. We'll chat with you. Now, will this work for me if I'm a total beginner, if I'm a foreigner, old or young, shy, not good at selling, etc.? Look, I'm a foreigner in Canada. I'm American. I live in Canada. I help people in Canada do deals in the United States. I've helped people all throughout the world do deals, right? You can do this. You can do this from anywhere. Okay. If you're a total beginner, that's who we work with. We don't care if you're super experienced. If you are experienced, and we can help you polish your process, but we work with total beginners. Foreigners also. Henry was from Vietnam, helped him do his first deal. Old or young, shy. If you're not good at sales, it's okay. You got to start somewhere. Not everyone is born. I don't even think people are born good at sales. You have to practice. It's the skill set. All right, Nate, you want to take over? My mouth's drying up.
All right. But what about the course? One thing I do want to touch on, because a lot of people think like you need to be born with like sales skills. Guys, I was not good at sales. I was not born with sales skills. Guys, spoiler alert, none of us are born with sales skills. I just had my second baby. She's a month old. And yeah, I was a little surprised. I had high expectations, but she didn't come out asking, advanced questions. Doing takeaway sales techniques,
What are you talking about, bro?
Like nobody's, I know, right? Like nobody's born with that stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
Literally no one, right? It is all stuff that is developed. So I promise, guys, like it's a skill that anyone can develop. Trust me, like speaking from experience, I was not a salesperson by any means. I'm halfway decent today. Okay. So trust me, you guys can do that. All right. Now talking about the course. So one thing, this is actually really underrated in my opinion, guys, the the coursework and modules we do give you, like that's constantly being updated, and we update that stuff for life. Now, guys, when we talk about the pre-flip method, let me be very clear. The pre-flip method, the strategy, the techniques, everything that we do, like we're not married to a technique because we put a name on it. We're married to whatever freaking works. So if something changes tomorrow and it's like, hey, this is definitely like a more effective, better way of doing things and being more profitable, closing more deals, making money, guys, you bet we're on top of that and we change to it immediately. Right now, this is that thing. The pre-flip method, by far, there's nothing that comes remotely close to it. Guys, this outperforms every model I have seen out there. Everything I've come up against. It has turned all the wholesalers, like that Whispering Oaks deal, right, to where there was all that competition, all those other wholesalers competing with me on it. Guys, it literally turns them into an army of people working for you. Because you want to know what each one of those wholesalers did to that seller? They took them through like a pushy sales process. The seller said, oh, I won't accept anything less than this. And then what does the wholesaler do? It tries to force him and pressure him to signing a contract at a price all the way down here when he already said no. So after you go through that conversation.
Hold on real quick. I just want to say that's the kryptonite of the wholesaler. I won't take anything less than this. And they're like, oh, what do I do? Not us.
And so I have an army of wholesalers that are just absolutely beating this seller up, while at the same time, the seller, because I trained the seller, right? Like I educated him. Oh, hey, there's these people called wholesalers. Here's what you need to watch out for. And guess what? Every single time he talks to one of them, he goes, oh my gosh, Nathan was right. Like this is, oh yeah, they're trying to get me to sign a contract. It has an inspection period. They don't want to put down much EMD. It says it's an assignable contract, right? All of these things. And so they all get taken out of the game. And what it ends up with is and guys, typically they're offering prices way lower than what it's a deal at, right? Which is great for me.
Real quick, you got to tell everybody that you just tell them straight up that that's what you do too. So it's not like you're just poo-pooing on them and being like, well, I don't do that. You're like, no, hey, that's what we're doing here, sir. I'm just telling you.
Literally,
like, yeah, okay.
But yeah, guys, I tell them like I'm doing the exact same thing. The difference is I'm being transparent about it, right? And letting them decide, hey, are you okay with this process or not? Rather than lying about it, being misleading, and then trying to pull it off.
And sometimes people, like other wholesalers, will like double down. They'll be like, no, I am buying it. They'll like freak out and they'll just be like, no, it's like, dude, you're not. Quit lying. And I can't stand that. I can't stand wholesale, like making the thing that frustrates me the most, Nathan, is the ones that over offer. They just some stupid price just to get it locked up, just so they can shop it around. That fires me up because it's like that seller really believes that they're gonna be able to do that. Most sellers aren't just like, I think they can do it. They believe the person can do it. That's why they do it, or they wouldn't waste their time. Go ahead.
The dark side of wholesaling, what we call traditional, like the dark side of traditional wholesaling that a lot of people don't talk about is like when you see a lot of the stuff on YouTube of people closing deals, right? Like getting a seller to say yes to a certain number and signing a contract. What you don't see is you very, very rarely ever get to see what happens after that, right? So you don't see, one, did that seller actually sign the contract? You don't see, oh, that buyer, that person waited until the very last day and then said, oh, sorry, something came up. We can't do this price. We can only do it $75,000 less. And they had already been telling the seller, oh yeah, pack your bags. Yep, you can move out, go find a new place, right? That stuff unfortunately happens all the time, guys, every day of the week. And that's what we're dealing. And that's why, guys, I think wholesaling is such an important part of the real estate market. There are so many people that need our help, and the world deserves a better wholesaler than what it's been given. And
you're like Batman, dude. You're like the hero. What does he say? Like, I'm the hero they needed, but the one they didn't want or they didn't deserve.
Something like that.
I don't know.
So, but But seriously, and so it's really nice when you get to be in a position to where guys, like the system that you learn, the sales process, the pre-flip method, you become one of the most dangerous wholesalers in the entire nation. But while at the same time being the person that everybody loves to chat with and wants to do business with. It's a really fun combination. Right? So it's nice when you're in a business to where
you don't lose sleep.
A lot of money making the world a better place. Seriously.
Dude, I just go back. If anybody's watching this and is like, yes, I have lost sleep or I did not feel comfortable selling a seller I could buy the house, and then getting closer to the end of the inspection period and not being able to find a buyer and I'm sweating it. No, this is what I hated the most about traditional wholesaling. Locking up a deal and then not being happy or excited about it because I wasn't 100% sure I could sell it. That was the worst feeling. It's like, I got a contract, everybody, but I'm not sure if it's a deal. That is not a business I wanted to be a part of. I stopped doing it. If you guys feel like that, stop doing it. Because
guys, it drove me crazy. Like my first 2 years of wholesaling, it drove me insane because I thought I was going crazy. I was like, look, I understand the value we bring to people and the problems we solve. Like, I get it. But like, I look around, I'm like, all the coaches, all the gurus, like everyone's saying, hey, this is how you do the business. But I couldn't help but feel like I was lying to people and being dishonest. And guys, that like drove me crazy. That like,
come on, who's felt like that?
Oh my gosh.
Has anybody felt like that where they've gotten a deal under contract and they're not happy? You should be happy when you get a deal. Like that when we get houses under contract, it's already sold. It's already done deal. Like it's like we're not worried. We're not sweating it. And if it's a novation, then everybody knows what's going on. It's not like they have the expectations and they're calling us like, what's going on? Like get those conversations out of here. I had someone the other day I was on his podcast and he was like, how do you make a smooth transition from the contract to close? Like there's so many things that can go wrong. I'm like, not really on our end. If anything goes wrong, it's if the seller themselves like doesn't want to move out of the house, if we're giving them a post possession, that's nothing that they didn't commit to, or we didn't set the right expectations. But
guys, every single end. Yeah. Like the sellers, they understand it's someone else that's buying the property. Right. Even when it's other people coming to look at it, right. They understand like we're just kind of in the middle. Like they know they understand the whole process. So there's no surprises. There's nothing that needs to be hidden. It's something that everybody agreed to.
They're like, well, people are like, what? You let the seller show the buyers the house? You're not worried about that? What would there be? Why would you be worried about that if everybody knows what's going on?
Here's the thing because we get this question a lot, like, oh, well, won't the buyer steal the deal from you? I don't know who started that story.
It's the traditional way. You would just blast out deals and not know who would go see it.
But it's not even buyers that steal. Like that's the thing is guys, if you take a deal and you blast it out in an email blast, and you put it on Facebook Marketplace, 100%, like there's going to be a million people trying to snake the deal from you. But here's the thing. It is almost never a real buyer that is doing that. 99 times out of 100, it's other wholesalers that are trying to steal the deal and snake the deal. That's why, guys, every deal that we do, we work personally with the buyer. Again, we don't need 10,000 buyers, right? We went over this lesson and stuff earlier in the training, right? But when you work personally with the buyer, because guys, like in what world, why would a buyer ever want to steal a deal from you? What? Because they can save an extra 5, 10, 15, even $20,000. Guys, if somebody called you right now on your cell phone and said, hey, I'll spend my own money, I'll spend my own time, my own energy, and I will find something that is the perfect fit for you. And look, you don't have to give me any money. You don't have to do nothing. The only thing you have to do is if it's an opportunity that is gonna make you a lot of money, like great, then you can buy it. That's it. Like, are you okay with that? Guys, who wouldn't want 1,000 of those people?
No, this is what they would do. You call me, you have a great deal. I say, you know what? Screw that guy. I'm just going to call the seller of the property, the address that they gave me saying of the deal. Hey, are you selling? Like, that just doesn't happen, you know? Like, I don't know what people think, but anyway, I'm just letting you, I'm just agreeing with you because I think that's funny. It's just like if that really were to happen, you bring a deal to someone, they just call skip trace the person that lives there, finds them. Hey, anyway. All right, it's getting late, dude. All right, guys. What about the course? Just kidding. All right. Now, what about this 60-day action-based refund guarantee? It's that simple, guys. It's a guarantee. You go through the course, you go through the process, you don't get the results you want, we'll give you your money back. All right. The true risk here, it's not the money. It's losing these bonuses in the price. It's a year of you trying to do this alone.
Guys, the risk is being the 95% of other people that spend their time, money, and energy and literally get nothing out of it. And then they complain, well, this business doesn't work, or like, oh, it's a scam or whatever. And guys, like, I've been there. I felt that way before. Like, I get it, but it does work. It's just not the way that you might think it works. Or a lot of people, they'll do something and they'll be like, no, I tried that and it doesn't work. Every time in my experience, I've gotten to work with somebody to where they're like, no, I did exactly what you said. And we work really closely with you guys. So I get to listen to call recordings and stuff. The funny thing, it is never even remotely close to the exact thing, right? I told them or taught them to do. So, and again, that's what's so important is,
and they're trying their best, right? But it's just not. Yeah. They just don't know what they don't know, right? So that's why we're
not able to see our own mistakes like in the process. And again, like that's, guys, why do you think the greatest athletes in the world all have coaches, right? I know it's a cliche, but there's a reason for that, right? Why did Michael Jordan need a coach? Why did Tom Brady need a coach? Why does Floyd Mayweather, why did he have somebody in his corner? Right? Like, and the list goes on and on. Pick whatever athlete, whatever team you want. And guys, and here's the thing, for all of those people, their coaches probably, right? Not probably, their coaches were not as great as them.
No, they weren't.
But they still needed the coach. Why? Because we cannot see our own problems, right? We're not able to see what it is we are doing wrong. It takes an outside perspective.
Exactly. So, hey, if you're watching this, guys, and you're just popping in, just if you're interested in chatting with us about joining the apprenticeship, just go to painlessflipping.com. Just fill out the short survey. It's like 3 questions and then book a time. You're either going to talk to me or Nathan Valley, and we're just going to have a simple conversation to see if we're a good fit to work together. It's pretty simple. Now, look, if you were to do this on your own, you would have to figure out a software. The one that we give you, it's already set up. You would have to set up your own CRM. You would have to get automation set up. You'd probably have to pay someone to set it up. If you don't know how to do it, lead generation softwares, VA cold callers, you probably would try and do VA cold calling. We would say, don't you dare. But most people would try that and waste money. If you do ad spend, lead list, marketing, it's going to cost you minimum of $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Sales training and coaching, $2,000 plus. You trying to figure it out on your own. Actual hands-on deal support. Good luck, guys. That's why I started doing this with Nathan Valley. This does not exist in the coaching space in the realm of wholesaling. No one is going to hop in and do your deals on our caliber, our level. Why do we do it? Because we want to produce results. We feel integrity behind the fact that we can say, hey, we help you do deals. We could outsource it to some dude across seas and just say, hey, yeah, we help you do deals, and go give it to somebody that's a terrible closer. But no, we do it. Okay. All this would cost more than $5,000 to attempt. Now, the real deal, guys, a lot of you are probably wondering, will the deals be harder to find in the future? Absolutely not. Look, debt keeps on rising, and there are more and more people facing financial distress.
Yeah, this is one thing. People always ask, like, yeah, but what about what's going on with the housing market and this and that? Guys, what I love about wholesaling, because it's funny, I have a family member that works in private equity, and he's always interested in, like, we chat a lot about business and stuff. And he's always like, hey, like, how are you doing about the real estate market? And like, does that have an impact on your business? And like, my answer is always like, nah, man, like, not at all. Because guys, who do we work with? We work with problems, right? We solve problems. We work with distressed sellers, distressed situations specifically. Guys, what's it with distress? It's not somebody that wants to sell. It's not somebody that's like, I'd like to sell. No, we work with the people that need to sell. We solve problems that nobody else can solve. The thing with problems is nobody plans for problems. And guys, life is always happening, right? Life happening, problems coming up, problems happening. That is forever going to, so long as there are humans, there will be problems that come up. That is why there will forever be a distressed market. Always, like it's not going anywhere. We talked about, again, in the very, very beginning of this, what was it again? I got to look back. It was like literally millions. Hold on. I'm going to find it because I don't want to just be throwing out numbers. Where was it? I know it was millions. Yeah, millions of deals per year. Yep. Just wanted to make sure I had it right there. Guys, do you need to do 1 million deals a year? Do you need to do 100,000 deals a year? Do you need to do 1,000 deals a year? Guys, what if you just did 5 deals that made you 20 grand each? Like, do you know how much time that would take? Not very much. Like, you could literally still do anything else with your life.
What if you just did 1 deal a year at 20K? Would everyone like an additional 20,000? Yeah.
Seriously. And like, guys, more importantly, if you had the ability, well, maybe 1 year you just chill and you do 1 or 2 deals. And then maybe the next year you're like, yeah, I want to hammer down a little bit and put some extra money in my pocket. And then maybe you decide to do 10 to 20 deals because it's a business and a skill set that you can control. It's a faucet to where you're now able to turn it up or turn it down. And so you can do that at any point in time, right? That's what we're talking about here is what you got to think bigger picture to what this really leads to. Again, this is the foundation that everything else builds upon. Wholesaling, I used to watch a lot of stuff because originally I was like, oh, I want to build a rental portfolio and stuff like that, right? And I'd watch all these things. I'm like, oh, here's how to like get to 10K per month. You just buy like 1 rental a year for like 5 years. Guys, when I learned and started doing wholesaling, guys, remember, I was locking up over 100 deals in a single year. A 5-year or 10-year rental portfolio for literally anybody that does not have a wholesaling skill set, I can do what will take them their entire career. I can do that in a month. That is not an exaggeration. A portfolio that will take the majority of people a lifetime to build, I could do that in a month. That is the power of this skill set. That is why I say nothing comes remotely close to this. And again, you get to continuously build upon it. So that's why I say it's not about just the wholesale fees, right? Wholesaling,
skill set behind
right?
it.
The assignment, that is just the tool. And guys, there's a lot of different exit strategies. Like we do cash deals, we do assignments, we do novations.
Yeah,
like
you name it.
We do what makes money, right? And what makes the most amount of money. But again, most importantly, like the wholesaling, that is what allows you, when you can find really, really good deals at deep discounts and you know how to do that yourself and you can control it. Wholesaling is what allows you to do that profitably. And then everything else is just gravy on top. And it just snowballs from there. I hope you guys kind of get that point because I want you to understand it. This is so much bigger than just wholesaling a few deals a year.
Yeah, agreed. So look, as we talk about will deals be harder to find in the future, where Americans are struggling, it shows you the states and it shows you the debt continues to climb. All right. So there's going to be more and more opportunities to help people. Look, we're not looking to take advantage of people. Some of these people don't even know what they're doing, what to do. A lot of these people will lose their homes in pre-foreclosure, will lose their homes and lose all their equity, like the person we're talking to. And the traditional wholesaling route of locking someone up and trying to find someone while the person thinks it's being taken care of, that's not the right way to do it. And you can it'll do a lot of damage. But with the way we're showing you, it's transparent, it's clear, and it's easy. All right. Look, this is hands down the best option out there. That's why we're still talking about it, because we need everyone to know what we do. Not everyone knows what we do. I would say really it's not very known. Our offer is not very known. If everyone knew what we're doing, yeah. Anyway, this is hands down the best option out there. This is the best place for beginners. Even if you're advanced, this would help you. The best business to start. It's the best community to be a part of. Me and Nathan will be your community, and obviously the people then in the community as well. But we're going to be a major part of that. The best sales process, the best coaches for wholesaling, and the best results of any real estate group, hands down. I promise you guys, no other group is getting in and diving into the trenches. Do we want to be in the trenches? No, I'd rather be on the beach. But this is how I can help you guys succeed. All right. But that's what we do. So what's the alternative here, Nathan? $50,000 plus for a college degree, over 50,000, 40 years. And by the way, with college, I'm not even sure if I would send my baby girl to college. I don't know if it doesn't move fast enough with the way the technology and everything is moving. Anyway, that's my opinion.
Well, it's like you're guaranteed, like you have to invest upfront money and guys, like you can spend the money and flunk out of college. And you just lose the money. You can also spend the money, make it through college, and then get literally nothing out of it. Or you can spend the money, make it through college, and maybe end up making the same amount of money that you could from day one without needing to invest the money or the time. Right. So to me, college is such a high risk, unless it's something you specifically really want to do. And that's cool. I'm not hating on people that want to go to college.
But if you're just going to go because you're like, I'll figure it out, I would say go with an idea in mind. But anyway, 40 years of BS for 15 years of frugal living. Guys, spend 40 years doing something you don't like to spend the next 15 years of being frugal. Nah, spend 71% of your life pissed off just doing something you don't want to do, all for the risk-free price of one college class. All right, guys, that's what we're talking about with our special offer. So if you guys are interested, chatting about it, book a call. Slots are filling up. We have our calendar open for Friday and Monday, and slots are filling up as we go. And go ahead, Nate.
I was just going to say, I think the one about 71% of your life spent pissed off, right? When you think long-term, because I understand, betting on yourself, right? Investing in real estate, doing wholesaling, being an entrepreneur, it's scary, 100%. And guys, I'm not going to say that there absolutely is risk involved. And spoiler alert, everything in life that's worth doing has some level of risk involved. But the thing is, and I'm very, very risk averse. But when I looked at my future, I saw there was two paths. Path one, it's okay, you do the college thing, get a steady job, and I pinch pennies. But I always looked at it towards, but what if an emergency pops up? What if prices change? Guys, let's talk. I know I hear stuff about prices, about inflation and gas and eggs all the time. Right? Eggs, when they tripled to $12, right? Gas, when it goes up. Let me ask you, when those prices increased, did your paychecks also increase? Probably not. Right? So what's riskier? Right? Is the amount of money that I'd have saved up in a 401k or whatever, right? For retirement. The chances of that actually lasting, and then let's not even talk about the quality of life it would give. To me, path A, it was guaranteed failure. The only upside about it is, but it's the thing everybody does. So you won't get, called out for it. Path B, it's could it maybe not work out? Yeah, maybe. But it could also work out. So you can go with the guaranteed loss, or I can at least have a chance, and a chance at which I get to control the factors in whether I win or lose, right? At having the life that I want. And one last thing I'll leave you guys with. This is one of my favorite frameworks for when thinking through hard decisions. It's called fear setting. If anybody knows Tim Ferriss, this was from his book, The 4-Hour Work Week. And I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit here, but fear setting whenever you have a really hard decision in life, this is the thought process. These are the questions that I go through to figure out, okay, what should I do? Question number one, and I write this out on paper. Question number one, what's the worst case scenario? Right? So it's like, hey, let's take this, for example. Man, should I take the plunge and, go into wholesaling and do it and make the commitment? Or should I stick with this? So I would question number one, what's the worst case scenario? And guys, write it out on paper and do not hold back. Like all those ridiculous things you're thinking, write those down too, right? Oh, well, it could not work out and I could lose all my money. And it's like, I don't know, maybe Nate and Nate are both like AI bots and it was like some overseas scam that took my money. And then, my significant other thinks I now make bad decisions. So they left me. And right. Like, guys, get silly with like all those ridiculous fears, put them down on paper, because part of it is when you put it down on paper, you're able to see how silly a lot of it is, but write out all that silly stuff. And then question number two, okay, even if that worst case scenario happened, what could I do? Right? What could I do to help mitigate the risk? Well, I would still have my job, or I could get another job. I could also work Uber and I could do this on the side. And I could cut these expenses, right? And write out what are all the real things you could do, even if that completely ridiculous scenario happened. Then write out what probably could happen. It's like, well, maybe this happens and maybe I do this and blah, blah, blah. And, that's not that bad. It's like, okay, great. Then question number 4. Okay, what could I do to help mitigate that? It's like, honestly, I'd probably just be fine. There really isn't anything I'd need to do. Okay, cool. Then the next question, and then here's where it switches. If it did work out, what then? What would life look like? How would things change? And write out all of those things. Normally, when to make the decision, when you write out, what if it did work out? The list is so long of what, writing out what's the upside. When you write it out on paper, for me, the decision becomes so obvious because the upside just so drastically outweighs the downside, right? And you're also able to see on paper, hey man, here are some real risks, but also here's what I can do to help control those risks, even if that worst case scenario stuff did happen, right? So you have a plan. So that's a framework that has been really, really helpful for me in my life. I'd encourage you guys to do it. And at the very least, again, if you're still here, guys, click the link, go to painlessflipping.com, book a call, don't wait, have a conversation. Love to chat with you guys. And looking forward to chatting with you then.
Yes, I love it, man. Let's start closing this down, Nathan Valley.
You didn't click that timer before.
Hey guys, we got 8 minutes left with you guys, so you better buckle up. All right, go to painlessflipping.com, guys. We're having fun here. And we do like what we do. I like working with Nathan Valley. If you guys want to kind of see what we're about, book a call. Yeah, man, I honestly, I'll wrap it up with, I love what we do because I feel really good about it, man. I really like when you tell me, or when we find out that our client is closing the deal, or we've helped them close the deal, nothing better. And we know why people aren't succeeding too. It's not like a guess. We're not, man,
how do I say it? Business. We see from the leads, because it's
yeah, we know we're dialed in. We know why someone would succeed or not, right? And we're able to tell you what you need to improve on. So if you guys are looking for someone to help you improve in this business and help you improve your skill set, this is the perfect place to be. I promise you. So anyway, peace out, everybody. I'm gonna go hang out with my family. It's late, and I'm gonna go watch a movie and relax. And we got some calls that are booked. I'm excited to talk to you guys that book calls. And looking forward to it. Nathan Valley, you got anything else you want to say before we wrap up, brother?
Guys, just real quick. So chapter 1, I'm kidding. No, guys, I hope you get we're corny. We like to have fun with you guys. No, seriously, I hope you guys got a lot out of tonight. Really looking forward to chatting with you guys and going from there. And if not, talk to you guys soon.